Tyrannosaurus, just like me. Welcome to my weekly group therapy session. I'm so glad to have everybody here for another episode of Access Vegas. They messed up and let us all in the same room. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest this week. It is a special week. It is AVN week, or what I like to call the funnest, most crazy week of the year in Las Vegas. People think it's the 4th of July. Some people think it's a Super Bowl. No, it's the week of AVN. And for those of you who don't know, AVN, let me tell the story real quick. If those of you remember, AVN and CES used to be on the same weekend, and they stopped because so many of the guys from CES were creeping into AVN to go try to have sex with porn stars. And they finally split the two. AVN was fine with it, but CES actually changed their weekend because that was becoming such a problem. Our first guest, she is from Ukraine. She's an adult actress. It is Milana Ricci. How you doing, Milana? Nice. Next to Milana, she is an adult actress, a financial dominatrix from Las Vegas, Nevada. It is Domo Monster. Hey, Domo.
Hi.
There we go. Also, Mom. He is of modern masculinity. He is Baby Hercules from Destin, Florida. It is Garrett Gaines.
We just got that name last night.
Nice. She is a trad thought. Traditional thought from Miami, Florida. She is Tiffany Fox. How's it going, Tiffany?
There we go. It's going good.
Does anyone want to guess what's in that roll? Because I'm afraid to ask.
It's a red pill, red velvet cake.
Oh, it's a red pill, red velvet cake. That's
I baked
We're
it.
definitely gonna try it.
Nice. She's from Miami, Florida. She's a very talented DJ we have out here. It is DJ Samantha XO. How are you doing, Samantha?
Yeah.
There she is. She made it all the way out here. She's an adult actress from Russia. It is Godmother Rush. How's it going?
Hello.
Good to have her here. Beautiful. And from Las Vegas, she is a former playmate, Miss Bella Bliss.
Hi.
Very nice. And from Los Angeles, she is also another adult actress. It is Christiana Sin. Yep, I'm getting messages right now from ABN. They're like, why are all our girls on your fucking show right now? Why do you have so many of our girls on your show? And I'm like, I have no idea. This is a show about Christianity and peace. I have no idea how we ended up doing that. So we have a bunch of things to react to. My co-host here, the author of the 5-book series of The Rational Male. And do you have one you want to start off with?
I'll try to do my best Ozzy Osbourne
there we go.
accent today. Where do we want to start today?
I like that Ben Shapiro one.
I think we should probably start with, we'll do the Ben Shapiro one first. I do also want to say thank you guys for coming because the expo is hard to get girls away from, quite honestly.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll tell you, this is what happens every time there's a Babes in Toyland or there's an expo. Everyone's like, we're coming in town. We want to come on your show. Then they get here and it's like, we just got booked for $6,000 to go do some shit. And it's like the night of. So it never ends up working out. But I'm very happy. Thank you.
Yes. And Domo, thank you very much for coming through and helping us out.
For sure. I would really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Much appreciated. So, so I was down there yesterday, and Garrett was down there with us as well. We were just kind of wandering around, and we bumped into Christiana, and so that was a lot of fun. The event is, or we call it an event, really. I mean, it's an expo. So it's like every year here. And I want to say, and just on more to your point as well, is every damn hotel in this town is booked.
Yeah.
There are 4 different conventions in Vegas right now. There's the concrete one. There's the CES.
The SHOT Show, right?
SHOT Show is there, yeah. And then
CES was a couple weeks ago.
Silicon Valley one.
It's like, guys, please, can we stagger these things? I think they do this on purpose, because it's right around the AVN.
So for whatever reason, January is convention month, and I don't know why it is. Maybe it's just a new pot of money for companies when they do write-offs. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, January is the big convention. CES is the biggest one in the world.
And that's the start of stripper season.
Is it? Is it the start of stripper season?
Yeah.
So the strippers.
There's actually a season.
So I'm actually going to that because it's very interesting. So I've heard this before. I used to manage a strip club. There's seasons with strip clubs.
Yeah.
And I used to think the winners would be the worst, but they're actually better.
Not here.
Okay.
Got a little better with the F1, but really, I've been dancing here for 10 years. Stripper season in Vegas always starts in January and ends up until like March. It may, April, but like that's like the time to dance in
and
Vegas.
after summer came and like people like just want to dance themselves.
Well, because there's pool parties and stuff, so people aren't really spending too much in the club.
I think stripper season though is right now in Miami because all the snowbirds are down.
Well, I'm dancing on Friday. I'll let you guys know how it goes.
Yeah.
Where
Where
are you
are you
dancing?
dancing at?
At Little Darlings.
Where?
Little
Little
Darlings.
Darlings.
You're at Little Darlings?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
They have the best billboards.
You're doing a feature?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you saw me on it. I've been getting pictures of the billboards,
Hell
which is
yeah.
really
Oh,
nice.
you're on it?
No,
Yeah.
you're on the billboard, Christiana.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
there you go.
Dang.
And,
That's a fun gig. I did
Yeah,
that.
so I'm hoping it's okay. I'm competing with like some really big events that
Oh,
night, so
okay.
I'm like just hoping people come.
Okay, so I actually
You'll have a good
before we
time.
go on, I have a question here. Do you guys relationship status? I'm just going to ask
yeah,
you
good,
relationship
good,
status. Christiana, are you in a relationship?
I have so many boyfriends.
You have so many boys.
They're all my.
They're all watching right
They're
now,
all my
and they all know about each other.
Oh, well, I mean, we haven't all been in the same room together,
Okay.
but
Good. Smart.
I do talk to them all at the same time. I have different phones,
Okay, you talk. she's like a
Yeah.
she's like a
Burner
crack
phones.
she's a crack dealer. She's got multiple phones. Bella,
Yes, I have a boyfriend.
you do?
Yes.
Well, you only have sex with one kind of guy. You told me before.
I only have sex with guys that are MOA guys.
That
Like
are
my
in it.
boyfriend
MOA
Curtis.
guys.
The guys that are in Men of Action. Those are the only guys she has sex with. Got it.
Men of Action guys.
Very, so it's a traditional monogamous relationship.
It's a traditional monogamous
Does the
relationship.
modeling or anything you've done nude, does that ever affect your relationship?
No, I just don't do nude work. I do mostly implied and modeling, but
Okay.
it doesn't affect our relationship because our time, like I think, because he's in the industry, I'm in the industry, like we understand each
Yeah,
other's time.
for sure. For sure. Christiana, does your work affect your relationship ever?
it used to a lot. Like, because I think that guys like are insecure, but they want to think that, or oh, I'm a nice guy, and so the nice guys would always be the ones that would get me in the beginning.
Mm.
'Cause like, oh, he's a nice guy. He'll understand, even though he's never been with a girl like me. But I need to date a guy who's been with strippers or a dominatrix or a model at least, because if he's never dated a girl like that, he has no idea what he's in for.
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever caught feelings for someone you've done a scene with or anything like that?
For like 10 seconds, and then I came, and then it was over. I'm
So
like,
that was it. But my point is,
You're the fucking best.
okay.
10 seconds of love.
Yeah.
but do you understand why somebody might be insecure about that, right? Like, so,
Oh,
like
yeah, because
again,
I'm working with people.
How about-
Everything that's big on camera, especially like on,
Yeah.
everything. So I think when they're comparing themselves, and
Sure.
Yeah, additional 5 pounds on TV, like you count on every part of your.
Every part of the body. Yeah.
Right, that's true.
We got two comedians in this fucking mess tonight. That is great.
One of my boyfriends. I'm so sorry.
No, they're hitting you up right now. Okay, but you understand. So, like, even with Kissa Sins and Johnny Sins, right? When Kissa went to go start filming with other dudes, he lost his mind about that, and the guy was like the biggest porn star in the world.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like it kind of like it feels like. Well, this is I had a discussion about this the other day. Men cherish loyalty from women more than the other way around, and not that women don't cherish loyalty. It's just there's numerous in Russia, the Russian oligarchs. Are any of them expected to be faithful to their wives?
And how to say, like Eastern Europe
Yeah.
and like all the like Russia, like all this like family thing and
Yeah.
commitment, like yes, it's kind of like this like tip of an iceberg, which is we talk about this all the time, but like it's how it's have to be. But only you just need to get little bit into this like dirty wardrobe, and you see it. So like like people like just try to cover this. Yes, of
Yeah,
course,
they
like we demand the loyalty, we want it, but not all people like ready to give it in exchange. So.
Yeah.
It's just like what it seems like women still value men who are super high status, even if they're not loyal. Whereas the opposite is not quite seen to be the truth. Sam, you disagree?
Yeah, I don't value that.
You don't value loyalty?
High status.
I understand.
value loyalty
You value
over
loyalty
high
above other
status,
things. Have
100%.
you had a situation where you were dating a guy and you just didn't really care about, you just thought he was hot and you were doing your thing? No, it was
No,
always
it's very
loyalty.
important.
Have you just been in one monogamous relationship after another?
I've been in a lot of monogamous relationships.
Okay, a lot of them.
Yeah,
But are they
yeah.
concurrent monogamous relationships?
so, yeah.
You've been at the same time, simultaneous monogamous
No, not
relationships?
so
Oh, okay.
Concurrently.
No, I've had breaks in between.
Yeah,
but
breaks.
Typically,
Are you with someone now?
I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. It's just
Yes.
traditional monogamous relationship.
It is. Yeah.
Does your work, and obviously you're not doing adult work, but does your work ever affect your relationship, your travel schedule, stuff like that?
Yes, it does.
So how does
yes.
it affect it?
I just think it makes men insecure, because I'm always meeting a lot of people, and it's hard for them,
How long you guys been together?
Maybe like a month.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay,
Yeah, it's very new.
Very good. So he's
Yeah.
got some
Yeah,
stuff to
it's
figure
very
out. Does he
new.
ever travel with you?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. No.
Crystal, what do you think? What does are you in a relationship now?
Well, like I'm happily married, and sometimes my life like let me have some choice for my own pleasure when I feel like too bored about.
So you're happily married to a man, and then
no,
he
I'm happily married to the woman.
to a woman.
Yeah, I was married to the man, and like once I asked him, like like, okay, buddy, like let's have a threesome. He told me I'm crazy, and after that,
Wait, a threesome with a woman.
Yes. Of
Okay,
course.
and he had a problem with that.
Can I? We're like, okay, like, hey, let's have, like,
Who is dating a guy where they'd have a problem having a threesome with two women? Anybody here? Because this happens so often, and I'm just like wondering if there's latent homosexuality that I'm not aware of because I don't
Yeah,
understand.
man doesn't cross the swords.
No swords. No sword. Yeah, no sword fighting.
No, some guys are into that. I'm not into that, but I just thought it's an interesting thing. So does your work affect your relationship with your wife?
So I'm shooting porn about 10 years as of now, and so generally yes,
Yeah.
of course, because like come on, like nobody wants to deal with that shit at the beginning. Yes, it looks like a beautiful picture. So you're gonna have a porn star like your
Yeah.
girlfriend, and she's going to wake up, fuck you, make you breakfast and fuck you, and like blah blah blah, like again and again
Yeah.
and again. But after you figure out what is just a simple woman like others,
Yeah.
and like but you want her and you don't want to share her with somebody, but like if you refuse something, you have to offer something, and you kind of like, I want to be you, like you will be independent, but in the same time I don't want you to do this, and like of course it's fucking affect like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And if you still want to deal with that and keep up with that, so you have to be like different type of relationship,
Yeah.
and only like if both partners are okay with that, to try to like build like shit over shit. So, yes, sure.
That's a very
But the
enlightened way to
I
look at
think
it.
to keep a healthy relationship, you need to like explore sexuality with your partner and do threesomes and have
With multiple
fun.
dudes?
Not with multiple dudes.
Okay.
With like do like a threesome,
Like four
get it-
dudes.
No,
I'm sorry.
like
I
a
was-
girl.
Was
Like
this
a
girl?
girl.
Girls.
No jokes.
Girls. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, you have to satisfy your man and your partner to basically keep them happy. Like I've always seen the happiest couples are the ones that go to the strip club together, the ones that have fun together. Those are the happiest couples. I know. You know.
Stop saying that so loud. Yes.
Ben Shapiro, are you listening?
So like if you want to be a happy couple, you have to like explore things, like try new things that you've never tried and be a little kinky in the bedroom.
Sam, have you ever had that happen before?
Yes.
What she's talking about?
Of course.
Has that been a easy thing to do or difficult?
Depends on the person you're with.
On the experimentation? Have you? What I'm saying is, that a guy you were dating who had a problem with you guys maybe having a threesome?
Right now, probably.
He would have a problem with it.
Maybe, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
but-
You've had previous partners who they wouldn't have a problem
Yes,
with it.
exactly.
Did you initiate it or did they?
It depends. Both of us.
Do you prefer women more than men?
It's equal, really.
It's equal, so it's 50-50?
Yeah. It's
Okay,
50-50,
cool.
100%.
So the reason why I ask is because
Yeah.
with women, it seems to be a spectrum. With men, it doesn't seem to be a spectrum. It's like, I really don't want penis around me, or I do. With women, there seems to be like, I know some women who are like in relationships with men, but they tolerate men. It's like 10% to men and 90% into women. I've seen that before, and I've seen the other way around. It's like, she's not into women unless she's on Molly and Percocet, and then all of a sudden she's down for whatever. We're in Ibiza. It's all right, we're going to have a threesome. And then so there's just a spectrum.
That does help.
It's a spectrum, but you're equal.
I'm
like you,
equal.
you're basically you run the triangle offense.
I do,
Got it.
yes.
Okay, beautiful. Tiff,
I mean-
are you in a relationship with somebody on
no,
Twitter?
I'm not. I got 5 guys.
Oh, time out. But
Now I got 5
didn't
guys.
it seem like she
I
was in a
got
relationship
5
with somebody
guys.
we know?
I got 5
Hold on,
guys.
can we ask
No.
about this? Okay.
I got 5 guys.
Okay, I'm saying.
I got 5
I know you like the burger place. I get it.
Five guys.
Is it
I
one at
got
a
5
time?
guys like the burger joint.
Okay, but what I'm saying is,
No, 5 guys.
do any of them have a problem with your work?
Well, I don't do adult movies anymore.
Okay.
But I do identify as a trad though. I made this cake and
Can
everything.
we get some forks and let's just start eating?
I do have forks.
Well, can you
There's
cut
no
that up
knife,
for us?
so I'm going to cut it with a chopstick. But I do video editing. I do graphic design, photography. I'm a retired 304 and the 305.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Do you?
You like chicks?
I do dig chicks. Actually, me and Milana, sorry, I'm a little stoned. Me and Milana did a scene before I retired.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's crazy.
She was
We're gonna have
fun.
to check this out.
So she's a coworker.
She was a coworker.
a coworker.
You guys have actually seen her naked? That's crazy.
I mean, we
I'm sure it was more than that.
was way more than that.
Garrett, what kind of relationship are you in?
I'm an incel.
You're an incel?
Are you serious?
I like that. There we go.
You did say it was going to be interesting, so.
Are you really?
What's an incel?
Oh, okay. I'm about to beat your ass right
What's
now.
that?
A man who's involuntarily celibate.
Involuntarily celibate. Incel.
So, okay, I've never heard of an
Well,
incel.
Oh, thank you. Bless you.
I know.
Who was it that we had on the show and they were like, yeah, you guys were talking about going to jail. You were in cells. And I'm like, not in cells. They said they're in cells, bro.
Wait, real quick. Who wants cake?
Yeah, I do. I want cake. Cut that thing up. Let's get as much cake as we can.
1,
Marshall, get us
2,
some forks.
3, 4. Everybody. Okay.
Okay, so but you're not in a relationship now.
I am.
You are. Okay, and then does your work, because you do some YouTube
shit.
stuff, does your work affect your...
Not at all.
Not at all? She doesn't care at all?
You got that knife?
I do.
So great.
shit, okay.
No, she actually means a knife, I think.
Garrett, tell them how.
Nice.
Tell them what do you do? Tell them.
So I read your first book, made a video about it on Twitter. We connected from there, and you liked my interview content where I did red pill focused interviews.
Nice.
And I think AVN is a perfect place to be for the.
Yeah.
for
It
the
definitely
interview,
is.
so.
Tiffany, please use a fork. Those chopsticks will not work.
And
Please use a fork.
Wow.
I should also point this out. You just turned 21.
I did on the 7th. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine like knowing what we know now when I was 21?
21.
I can't even
Wow.
imagine, bro. I was managing a strip club, just lost his shit, being like, why is it that everyone tells me one thing, a way to be with women, and then when I go to my work, I see that all that shit doesn't work at all. Why is it so weird? It's so weird that all of them tell me that they just want a nice guy. Then when I see who they date, none of them are nice. It's so confusing. It is really, really interesting. Now, let's go to Domo. Domo, are you in a relationship now?
I am not in a relationship.
Have you been in one previously where your work affected your relationship?
My work has always affected my relationships.
Like what are some of the examples?
They want to save me and they don't want me. Or it's like they get excited when they see me
Yeah.
because they know I'm this freaky, deaky, porn sex worker girl.
Don't you have a famous scene?
Porn.
You have a famous scene where you you cucked some dude?
My cuckold scene.
Yeah.
I'm a cuckold queen. Yeah, my relationships have always been complicated with my career.
Got it. Okay. Nice. Milana,
Yes.
are you in a relationship now?
Well, I date a bunch of girls, but I don't have any serious
Do
relationships.
does your adult work, is it only girl?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't do any girl guy stuff?
No.
Isn't it funny how there's like a ladder for that? Like because I agree with this. I consider that to not even be hardcore porn. Like to me, girl
Soft.
to me isn't
soft
even
porn.
pornography.
No.
To be fair, like I don't even consider that to be
It's
pornography.
like art,
Huh?
right?
Yes.
Girl pornography is
That's
more
art.
for women.
Huh?
Girl pornography is more for
Yes,
women.
I
Come
consider
on.
that to be art, high level art.
Is that
Yes.
now, I have a question though. Is that because you have a boyfriend who doesn't want you to do that, or is it because
No.
you just prefer to do that?
No, I prefer to do that.
Your
I really
experience.
like girls, and whenever I was dating a guy, so I quit dating a guy 2021. So before that, I was dating a guy who was totally fine of me doing boy-girl, and
Yeah.
I just didn't want to do it.
Did you ever do boy girl?
Never.
Oh, no, okay, got it.
Ever.
No.
Okay.
I didn't want to.
And then,
I don't like
but did you ever have a relationship you found fulfilling with a man?
After 2021.
Can somebody in the
no.
kitchen get a knife? This is one of the most crazy things I've ever seen. Guys, can we get the camera on this? She is trying to cut a velvet cake, red velvet
Like a
cake
pocket knife?
with chopsticks. What is going on? Someone did not take an engineering or physics class.
Hey,
What is happening right now?
I brought the cake.
Can someone
I did the
go get a
plate. I
plastic?
couldn't
Can
find
someone
a
please
knife.
get a plastic knife out of the fucking out
Very
of the coffee shop,
MacGyver vibes.
out of the kitchen? Somebody, for fuck's sake!
Jesus Christ!
All right, so do you want to play this video, and then
Yeah,
I want to
sure,
ask
sure,
Bella
sure.
what she thinks about this video, and the rest of you guys. You guys tell me what
Do
you
you
think.
want to
okay?
do Ben Shapiro first, or which
Oh, let's
one
do Ben
you
Shapiro. Let's do that first,
All
and then we'll do that one second.
here we
Ready?
go.
Okay. Can we get this up on screen? Here we go, guys.
we
Hold
go.
on to your dicks.
Physiologically, men and women are different, sir. There is no debate about it. Equality is not about physics. Oh my God, this is so basic. We have to get into it. Okay, when we talk about equality and opportunity, we talk about cerebral opportunity. We're not saying I want to be able to be 200 pounds like a man and beat the shit out of somebody else. We're not saying that. We're saying you get the ability to get the job, to be the CEO, and nobody questions when you're driven at 50 and have 3 children, how you're managing it all. Don't question me. That's what I'm saying. I can be a CEO and a mother.
Right. See, this is what feminism used to be.
Because physiologically, men and women are...
All right, go ahead, stop it. Now, what is your opinion on this? I'm curious. Hold on.
Yeah, I couldn't
Well,
we couldn't hear
I
it.
can't hear it.
hey guys, they couldn't. They couldn't hear it at all.
That's why I keep my eye like here, like open.
Do we know what's going on there?
I was like thinking about doing that.
Could any of you hear it?
I don't hear it.
You could hear
I heard it.
I can hear it.
I heard it.
Everybody else heard it?
I couldn't hear it though, but
The chat heard it, I believe.
Everybody feels to hear it.
Okay, well they're gonna get somebody. I'm curious. What did you think? What do you think about that?
I think it's interesting that that Ben Shapiro would even respond to something like this. Quite honestly, as far as like men and women being different, yeah, obviously that's what we talk about. But as far as like what she was saying, like. What do you think?
So when Ben is for those of you who didn't hear it, she was basically saying what women don't want is equality of outcomes or equality of physicality. They want equality in the mental equality, basically where women have the ability to have the same jobs that men do as far as like technical jobs or engineering or whatever like that. And what he's saying is you can't complain about that. And at the end, Ben Shapiro says this is what feminism used to be. And if it's not for equality of outcomes, then that's fine. Nobody has a problem. In fact, I don't even think that's feminism. No. I think feminism to me is equality of outcomes. When you want equality of what's it called? When from the starting line, when we all start from the same spot. I forgot.
Equity.
I
think it's. It's kind of like progressive speak is what it is. It's kind of like woke speak, more or less. Say the problem that I have when people start bringing up like issues of feminism, it's the fact is like. Everybody wants to say, "Oh, it's about equality. It's about equality."
But equality not exists between women and men.
Exactly. I was going to say, it's like the problem is the word equality. I don't believe in equality, and I don't mean that like I don't think that we should be like have equal standards for men and women.
Not equal. We cannot be
it's
equal.
It's the fact that we always refer to equality as if it exists in a vacuum. Like, oh, we got to be equal. No. There are physical differences. Like women can have children and I can't. And if I say, oh, that's horribly inequality. We should change the world so that I can have kids and you can't.
We equally can have an opportunity. We equally can have help each other to achieve some goals. We equally can try to do something, but we are not equal.
But see, that's more like we're complements to one another. We're cooperation.
Yeah, we can collaborate and do something together.
So
but we are not equal. Just why
as a guy. My strengths, my inherent innate strengths as a guy complement a woman's weaknesses, and then vice versa too. And I don't see why that is it's a curb this fucking high. How come we can't just wrap our heads around that? And the reason for that is because guys, just like Ben Shapiro as well, but as well as the woman here, I think they're both wrong because. Feminism was never about equality. It was always about restitution and retribution. There's never any waves of freaking feminism. It's this idea that everybody ought to be on the same level. It's a blank slate equalism. We're all blank slates, and it's simply not true.
So this is idea what let's say 200 years ago, woman was kept behind, but just woman didn't want to do anything. We were okay with what we have.
Right.
And so now it's more about now we can choose wherever we want to do. Now we can choose even equal work what you can if we want to, but actually we don't want to.
Yeah, but
we just want to have this opportunity.
So these are
you want the option. I want the option.
But we don't want to use it. Please tell me do not do this.
Right.
Maybe you can do this, but stop it.
This is we live in a liberal democratic society where legally it doesn't matter what your gender is or your race. You should have the ability to have the same job that someone else with certain exceptions. Like for instance, women fighting in the infantry because they can't hold a 70-pound rucksack. There's just certain requirements that are necessary. But for the most part, in a lot of other jobs, we don't see that difference. So that if the question is should they have the right to choose whatever they want, that you're correct. But you made a second point which makes sense, and that when women were surveyed in the workforce, 83% of them said that if I could have, I would wanted to stay home with the kids. 83% of women said that. So what that says is, while you may have wanted one thing, they wanted that opportunity. A lot of them in the end don't want to have to do that. And the problem, I think, is when women get begrudged for that. So again, you go on TikTok and you see these comments for women are like, I cooked for my man. And they're like, why would you say this? You're setting women back. You're a pick-me. The women are called pick-me's for wanting to do things for their man.
We're always going to yell against something we're staying for, and if I decided to become feminist and now I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do anything, of course I'm going to degrade everyone who's doing opposite because I need to prove my point somehow. And if I don't have any reasons to prove it, so of course I have to come at you.
It'd be funny to see
for some people it's cool to do to go to the boot camp or to try to do something some of my own work because they need a discipline, but for someone no. And we cannot talk for all the species. Like I cannot talk for all women who wants to cook or like who wants to fuck.
For
like,
sure.
You know, sometimes I want to cook, sometimes I want to fuck, sometimes I want to sleep.
Yeah, I didn't think this was that controversial. But I do understand what like you disagree with Ben, but I do kind of agree with what Ben's saying. Is like maybe that isn't actually. It's kind of like with red pill. You know how they distort what red pill actually means. I think it's one of these situations where if the function of it was equality of outcomes, then I do believe that is unrealistic, and that is what feminism is. But I don't think that the idea that we should all start from the same place and at least have the right to, regardless of whether or not it's a good idea.
So,
I don't
like,
think it's wrong.
when we talk about equality of opportunity, there's also you have to be realistic in that equality of that opportunity in the first place. So it's like, should women have the ability to, or the opportunity, I should say, to be a firefighter, right?
I don't want equality because I don't want to be like a lineman doing the power lines. I don't want to be doing underwater welding.
Okay. So
fuck that.
But so now let me ask you. Okay, so that's a good question. Now let me ask you this: do you think you should have the opportunity, or women should have the opportunity to be an underwater welder, or a lineman, or a fireman, or a garbage
I think
it's never. You know, it's funny. It's never like I want to work in raw sewage. It's like I want to be in HR. I want to be in. I want to
be a psychologist. I want to be an attorney.
Yes.
If women want to do the same thing that a man should do, like let's say combat or like a police officer, I think they should pass the same physical tests that a man does if they want to be able to do that.
So essentially and that's what I was getting at. As far as equality of opportunity is concerned, we should not be like lowering standards for like combat or for like kicking in a door so that you can be a firefighter.
Yeah, but that wasn't her argument. Basically, wasn't the physical part. Like I don't want to be a 200-pound man. That's what she said. My whole thing is that the word I was looking for is opportunity. Equality of opportunity and equality of outcomes. Equality of outcomes is not reasonable. That is not reasonable. No. Remember, guys, read in the preamble of your Constitution, it states that you have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It does not happiness. One more time. It does not say happiness. You are not guaranteed. You're not endowed with these rights by these inalienable rights by your Creator. It is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It does not guarantee happiness. So in guaranteeing happiness would be guaranteeing an outcome. What we do is guarantee opportunity in this country. And so from that standpoint, I agree.
I've got this great, anytime this topic comes up, I usually bring up these stat tables here. Men have greater upper body strength. They have taller bodies. We have heavier bodies. Higher basal metabolic rates. I don't know if you knew that. Faster reaction times. Thicker bones in the jaw. So we can take one on the chin, right? Faster mental rotation and spatial visualization, more accurate throwing of objects, more accurate blocking of thrown objects. I did not know that. More interest in the practice of combat skills, stronger bones, greater bone density, specifically in the arms, easier heat dissipation, more hemoglobin in the blood, higher muscle to fat ratio, larger hearts, higher systolic blood pressure, broader shoulders, enabling more efficient weapon use, larger sweat capacity, larger circulating blood volume, greater resistance to dehydration, tolerance risk and dangerous activities, faster sensory frame shifting. I'm not sure what that is. Thicker skin, larger lung capacity, and greater use of physical and homicidal aggression.
Yes.
We are naked murder
So
apes.
basically, everything they describe there is given to you through testosterone, like every single one. Yeah. The more dense musculature, the thicker bones.
Every time Myron starts talking about like differences between men and women, I'm like, just read this. Just read this part.
So just on average, men are about 90% stronger in their upper body and 50% stronger in their lower body. Men are about 15% bigger than women. That's on average.
Right, so that's the physical side of things. Like, but what about like mental stuff?
So men are obviously more aggressive.
Psychology.
And the thing is, I don't know if it's testosterone does this or if it's just a function of our hardwiring, evolutionary psychology, but the story you said about the nail, that is very common. It's like
which we can show too.
Yes. Well, frequently what happens is when men communicate, we want to solve the problem. You tell us the problem, we want to solve the problem. And you don't want us, sometimes women don't want us to solve the problem. You guys instead want us to like hear how you feel. And so I ask Kylie frequently, I'm like, am I solving your problem or do you want me to hear how you feel? Just let me know now so I could just sit here and be like, yes, baby. But if you want me to solve the problem, I'll solve it in 2 seconds. And now all of a sudden, all of your drama goes away. Are you cool with that? that. Because a lot of times if you take a girl's drama away too fast, she's like, what the fuck was that? Like, I didn't want you to do that. Why'd you take all my drama away? I need more chaos.
Right.
I wasn't ready.
Again, I wasn't ready. I want more chaos so I can get more attention. And then you took it away. You fixed the problem.
Chaos too.
Huh?
There's some men that like drama and chaos.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, the ones who were
Like, there's
raised
some
like
men.
effective women.
Yeah.
Yes, they would. They do.
There's some men that
It's
love
even,
that.
Like, even
Yeah.
about physical, like, things. Now it was statistics about, like, like men is definitely like stronger than women in all this like different stages. But like nowadays, like we like when we have like bunch of genders and all that stuff, we have like like super weak woman and men and super strong woman. Which is, like totally opposite of each other. Maybe that's the reason like why like now like like the super strong woman wants to like like you have your job and the super weak man wants to have mine.
Well, the necessity for the super strong man
And now it's like much
less and less.
and now it's like that kind of people more than like
There are men out there that will purposely push a woman's buttons because they like craziness. Like I had an ex-husband, like he'd like to push my buttons because he liked craziness, and I'm like, why am I doing that? I'm like, this is stupid. This is retarded.
But you gave him craziness.
And when I stopped giving him craziness, he thought I was being too boring, and I'm like, well, I don't want the craziness. I don't want that. But he liked it. Like his ex chased him around the house with a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
knife.
craziness.
That sounds like craziness. What were you going to say?
Ex-girlfriend.
Christiana, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say being in a relationship like that taught me how to be manipulative for men. And it's not that like I wanted to, but I did learn out of necessity to protect my real mentally craziness. So
To protect it.
yeah, it's not to protect it, but to protect.
I don't want somebody to take away my. I'm really insecure. Someone will take away my craziness.
I meant
mental stability.
Yeah, you might, yes,
I got you.
Yeah,
girl.
yeah. So,
Mental stability.
So sometimes, I when I could feel, I'm like, oh, it's been a little bit too calm here. I better start some drama just to really keep him from focusing in on me. What it really pushes
Jesus,
my
girl,
buttons.
that is very enlightening that you would actually admit to that, because that is absolutely the truth. It's so funny. If I just said what she just said, which is women are like, wow, things have been a little too calm. I need to start some drama. Women are like, I can't believe you say that, Michael. It's just the women that you talk to. And then Christiana says exactly what I was going to say because I know it to be true. I can tell sometimes.
No, you need the money.
It's not just with girls I date. It's just like.
Let me remind you, this is the same girl who said she had 50 boyfriends at the beginning of the show.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
I
but-
just checked my phone and 2 of them are gone now. So.
You got rid of them?
-2.
You deleted the contact.
I have 2 more openings.
Hey, that's right. Hey,
That's why she has so many boyfriends.
We're going to a party after this. There might be some more applicants there. Definitely.
You wanted chaos.
Casey Zander says that men should be in control of the drama. Casey Zander recommends that men start drama.
Yeah, so I was with
Yeah.
Casey all this week, or I was with Casey on Tuesday, and then talked to him today. And you're right. Yeah, I mean that's a very different thing as far as control the drama. It's unfortunate. Like, wouldn't it be better if just neither of us wanted drama? But I think what happens is women have less of a necessity for sexual validation, more of a necessity for attention, and because of that, a great way to get attention is to start drama. And so you do that, and then all of a sudden you get attention. One thing is Andrew Tate said this, and I actually agree with him, was this concept of like your girl's picking a fight with you, so you fight back with her. You're actually rewarding her with more attention. What happens is when she cleans your house and she brings you food, that's when you should be giving her all your attention. But as men, obviously, we do the opposite, and that becomes
They'll
problematic.
push your buttons to try to make you mad sometimes too.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want to see that aggression come out too.
It's dread. It's the concept of dread is what it is. And I hate to even use the term because there's such a negative connotation for the word dread, but it's basically conflict or mix in the pot basically. But people always say, "Well, Rollo, that's so manipulative," and that's like it sounds like you're like trying to like manipulate people. It's game playing. It's like, no, it's not. Especially when it's. It would be if it was like if you were directly doing it. It's like one thing if you're like, say you're at a club or you're at a bar or whatever, or a restaurant, and you flirt with the waitress and you're actively doing that, as opposed to the woman who, like the waitress is flirting with you and you don't dissuade it. So it's like a passive form of dread versus like a third party form of dread, as opposed to like, well, if you don't shape up, I'm gonna go out there and hit on these bitches. Like that's an ultimatum. That's an ultimatum, as opposed to like just like hey, I can't help that these girls just want to be with me. Whatever, you're the only one for me. But like, what am I gonna do?
When something's in demand, the price is
Hey,
always
I
higher.
was gonna say, you've got some. I'm valuable. What can I say?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What did you think about this whole concept, Milana?
I am all about the peace. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't like any drama, so I just like.
You just fuck women and then there's just
Well,
no drama at all.
Actually, that's a good. I got a question. So are you?
Like I just fuck them.
Are you in a relationship with? Like, are you like straight up lesbian?
Yes.
Okay, so are you in a relationship with a woman right now?
Well, I date lots of women, but I don't have a serious relationships.
Do you
right
Do you find that you have a lot of conflict and a lot of like drama in your relationships when you are in a relationship with a woman?
In my relationships with the man.
But not with a woman.
I'm curious.
Never.
If I should ask you, I'm going to ask you this, and I'm going to ask Crystal this: Who gets divorced at a higher rate, gay men or lesbian women? Just out of curiosity, what do you think?
I don't know.
What do you think?
I think gay men.
I will believe lesbian women.
Lesbian. Why do you think lesbian women?
Lesbian.
Because like as we talk right now about we are
About
needed
the drama.
We're
we are
crazy
needed drama.
bitches.
We are needed. We are emotional species, and you're more about logical way. And you can talk. I don't know. I'm a gay man. Can talk, slap each other asses, and kind of feel okay. No, we need to scream it out.
Yeah.
And that's why the problem is we are women. We don't know how to limit ourselves at certain points. And when you are at your peak of your anger, you're ready to quit everything at the same time. And when you have two species like this and nobody asks for forgiveness, so that means it's done.
Oh, that's why you think so. Yeah, it is. It's about 2 to 1. Lesbian couples get divorced at twice the rate that gay men do.
Yeah.
And when you see women when they're married to men, they get married. They file for divorce 4 out of 5 times. About 80% of the time, women are the ones filing for divorce. So it does seem to be there's some proclivity in women to be this isn't working and I'm going to leave. Even when they don't have men to blame, they want to leave. So that makes things a little bit different.
And then you marry those in the closet men that are secretly gay that hate threesomes, and they're secretly in the closet. And
I understand how you be insecure, but you hate threesomes, bro. What is wrong?
Find them on
you
Grindr.
hate them, bro? How do you hate them?
Mildly on Grindr.
That is oddly specific. I'm just gonna say.
I know.
Hey, can we do something? Can we try that for 1 second and make sure that these girls can hear the clip? Can we try the audio here? Can we go and put the next clip up here? Let's make sure we can do it before. I want to make sure they can hear. Everybody, have your headphones on and make sure you can hear it. But raise your hand if you can't hear this when she starts talking. Can you go ahead and play it? Yep.
Down because of her body.
Let me ask you a question. How many bodies you got?
They can't hear it, so you two cannot hear it.
Oh, why do you not want to answer?
All right, let's stop real quick.
Nose mic down.
Stop. Okay, can you two hear me?
Yeah,
on the microphone, so they can't hear.
I hear you by my ear,
Okay, so these two headphones are not working at all. Okay. Can we do something about that?
Let me see.
Okay.
I don't have to get under here though.
Okay, sounds good.
Do you want me to go ahead with this one, or
okay, cool. Well, I'll explain it to you guys, or if you could probably.
There's.
What am I talking about? I've seen.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put this on.
Things under there, so.
I've already seen this one.
Not ready? You can actually.
There's subtitles.
It's got closed
I don't think a
caption.
woman's value goes down because of her body.
Let me ask you a question. How many bodies you got then?
I'm not answering that.
Oh, why do you not want to answer? Because you know deep down your value is intimately tied to how many sexual partners you had when it comes to finding a man.
No, if I could ensure that my parents wouldn't see this, then I would say my body count.
Oh, so why do your parents care then?
They're very culturally traditional.
Why has it been a tradition for women that are promiscuous to not be respected?
That's the patriarchy. I don't think a woman.
All right, let me see it real quick. Can I get that from you real quick? All right, awesome, cool. What do you guys think about? What do you guys think about that clip?
I mean, I don't know what provoked this conversation. I feel like I need to see more of that episode, but I feel like it kind of depends on what you want. Because I mean, if I were a guy and the women never slept with anybody, I'd be like, well, this girl sucks in bed.
Well, I think
it's going to take me forever to train her.
There's a difference between 2 and 200.
I would want a free freak so she already knows what to do. So I don't need to train her, and she's already likes the things I like, and maybe can show me a thing or two, or it's just that's just me.
Christiana, do you think men prefer that they're more interested in a woman who is skilled sexually, or more interested in a woman who hasn't been with a lot of men? What do you think most men are like?
Most men, it's tough. Well, I don't think most men could realistically handle being with a woman who's been experienced.
Okay.
Very experienced.
Yeah.
Because I think it comes from maybe security.
Okay, maybe it's
issue.
insecurity. Do you think if we looked at it statistically that women who've been with a lot of men are more or less likely to cheat? What do you think?
More or less likely to cheat?
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't know.
I think they're more likely to cheat.
They're more likely to cheat if they've been with more men before. Is that what you
because
think?
they're not satisfied enough because they've been with more men versus a woman who hasn't been with more men.
Nice. What do you think, Crystal?
Yes, it's always affect all the thing, and woman this bigger body count, of course she's more about to cheat because she has something to how to say.
Digmatized, she's
digmatized.
Yeah.
I don't know that terms. It's probably some trauma over the dick. No, you can see the you can see the difference between dicks, okay, like between dicks and between people, and like for example, like when you have a lower body count, or for example, like you don't have like any experience, you have nothing to compare with, and you think like like it's like only one, and you're afraid to check something else, and when a woman knows what like after that it's something, she's like, okay, fuck this shit, and of course I wouldn't like like use it because like I know like
Here's just a hypothesis. What if when like there's an oxytocin release, and when women have sex with men, that men don't always have with women? So men can have non-contextual sex. And if you don't believe me, watch pornography. It's pretty obvious that they can. Women, on the other hand, pornography. Women on the other hand, they're gonna have a dopamine release. So let's just say throughout your history, before you met the man of your dreams, who's number 10, 1 through 9, you had a dopamine release with each one of them, and there's an experience that still is imprinted on you, and may be harder for you to want to settle because you can always remember those previous experiences. Does that make sense? Could that be possible?
I have a fun fact for you because I took like yoga classes in Mexico.
Yeah.
And she taught me that whoever you have sex with stays in your system, in your cell system for 7 years.
Oh.
Even if you use a condom?
Microchimerism.
Yeah, yes. You know what I'm talking about,
Yes,
Rolo.
I do.
Yes, I do. Yes. See, I got scientific with you.
Yeah.
You didn't know I was
incredible.
smart.
I don't believe in any of that.
I
but
don't
that's
either. I was just going to say the jury's still out on that.
Chimera is not a real thing. Okay, anyway. Let's say, Samantha, what do you think?
What was the question?
So the thing is, she was
Body
saying.
count,
So before she was saying, she was saying my body count shouldn't matter.
Right.
And then he was saying, then what's your body count? And she said, I'm not going to tell you. And he's like, well, why wouldn't you tell? If body count doesn't matter, then why won't you tell me?
Right.
And she goes, oh well, it's because my parents are watching
because
right
it
now.
doesn't count.
Right. and then
She can't count.
or maybe she can't count. That's funny. And then at the end, she's like, "Oh well, why is it that men care more about body count than women?" And her response was patriarchy. So, what do you think about that whole situation?
Yeah, I agree with her.
You think it's just the
100%.
patriarchy?
Yeah, I do.
So it shouldn't be a thing that men look at.
No, absolutely not.
No. Why do you think men do that?
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. They just feel. I think they feel insecure.
Okay.
If you've been with a lot of men.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I believe like it's actually like idea about body count, like it's touch like each part like of our society, man and woman. Because for example, like like I have my ex-boyfriend and like like previous boyfriend, like before like I married my wife, and they didn't have a like big like body count of women, and I can tell you the difference between even the men who have like low like little body count and who have like like big amount of women. It's all about the loyalty as well, like and like even the guy like with like not a big experience with a woman, but like with great experience in the sex, but he's still going to be much more loyal, like like than the dude with like 1,000 girls who loves him. So it works like vice versa.
So I guess what the question is: do you think it's so when you say patriarchy, that's societal, or do you think it's genetic?
I think it's societal.
You think it's societal?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So the only reason why I was saying that, there's a book right behind Crystal. It's called The Evolution of Desire. There's another book, The Evolutionary Psychology textbook, and they do a survey of 37 different cultures, and every one of these cultures, and some of them are in like Inuit Indian, some of them are in Papua New Guinea, some of them are in the Andes, and all of them in every one of the cultures, men are more concerned with a woman's body count than the other way around. So that would mean it's genetic. Do you understand? That would mean that like throughout history, men have been more concerned because of paternity uncertainty about whether or not
the kid's theirs.
whether or not the kid is theirs.
Paternity of the kid.
The other issue is, like I said before, is the GSS survey that came out where women would have 230% more sexual partners. Those are the ones who cheated. So they looked at women who cheated and women who didn't cheat. The women who cheated had 230% more sexual partners. So
by rate of comparisons.
Well, back in the old days, the kings used to kill their wives if they cheated.
You're speaking specifically of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn.
Yes.
Okay, that wasn't like not all of them did that. Okay,
those fucking kings.
Yes.
God damn.
He did not kill Catherine of Aragorn, and he did not kill his first wife. I mean, his last
I
wife.
have a question for you as someone that's like bisexual, like body count with girls or body count with guys?
You're bisexual. You're bisexual. Let's make that
Whoa, wait, hold on.
So if you're asking me, like if a girl has sex with a girl, your body count goes down one. That's the way I look at it. It goes down one. Yes.
Really?
It deletes
Damn,
one.
then I'm out.
It deletes one. If you hook up with a girl, it goes down one.
Wait, Domo had something to say here. I want to hear.
Okay, let's have a lesbian orgy till we get to 0.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, I'm tired of this fucking bullshit about your body count, this body count. Because,
Thank you. Me too.
Because the whole thing is you men, what's your body count? Your body count is a lie.
Super high. Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
And there's
Not me. I'm just saying in general in life.
Oh, right. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, you get with men and they want their woman to know how to satisfy them. I mean, maybe you guys want to mold them too.
I feel like we can teach them that. I just don't really. If a girl's like super attractive, I don't know if you two guys agree with me. If a girl's super attractive and she just kind of does what we fucking want, it's really attractive. Like, we don't really need her to know how to do the Gluck Gluck 9000, right? And in fact, for her to learn how to do the Gluck Gluck 9000 would take like one day. Yes. It wouldn't be something that would take that long to learn. It's not like learning. Like if I was trying to get you to do the equations for quantum mechanics, that takes a couple days.
There's a lot of guys who may not want to teach and maybe just want to sit back and relax and enjoy all her skills.
I'm sure there's a clip for this, but Andrew Dice Clay, part of his comedy, his stand-up comedy bit, one time he was like asking these couple in the audience, he fucks with people in the audience, right? Yeah. He says, "Hey, you guys a couple? Yeah, she looks pretty good. Yeah." These guys like, "Yeah." He's like, she love you? She loyal to you?" The guy's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Does she suck a good dick?" And he's like, "Yeah, she does." He goes, I suppose the next question is, how do you think she got that way?
Oh my God.
And that was like from like the 80s, and I remember that, and I go, he's got a point there.
He's got a point.
Yeah, because it's like you didn't put your flag on the moon or anything like that. And I think really what it comes down to is maybe it's because we live in this like sort of social media fueled society right now, because everybody is in everybody's business right now. So there's this constant, and it's always on. You can't turn it off, right? You log on to social media, it's there. Yeah. So it's like turning the TV on and turning it off. And most people don't want to turn social media off. You can turn TV off quicker than you can turn social media off. But the problem with it is that we have such easy access to it right now. And so everybody wants to ask everybody, what's your body count? What's your body count? And the problem with that is like the guys who don't fuck are having the biggest problem with the guys who do fuck.
Yeah.
Because the guys who do fuck are the guys who don't really care whether or not you have a really high body count or not. Yeah, because they're getting laid no matter what, and they don't care.
Also, if I don't care about being in a relationship, I remember in my 20s, like, in fact, forget the 20s, the beginning of the whole pickup artist movement. There was never a discussion about body count or her political affiliation. That was something that came later. Now, I'll tell you, I'm like not judgmental about it. I'm still discerning. Like a woman with a 500 body count, I just don't think I could marry. I'm just like, it's not likely she's going to stay loyal to me. So I understand that. I can be discerning without being judgmental. But, it's just one of these situations. So like, for instance, when we said before, in all these 37 cultures, men preferred women with lower body counts, or were more concerned with it than the other way around. Women are more concerned with a man's ability to procure resources, about 2 to 1. They're more interested in that. Men, again, my girlfriend was a bartender. She did not make a ton of money when I met her. Didn't care how tall she was. I didn't really care how old she was, and I did not care how much money she made. Those were not considerations for me whatsoever. But when you have that, there's this one big difference, and that is when women see men that other women find attractive, they find that man attractive. That's not just humans, by the way. Several species of mammals and birds also do the same thing. But the other way isn't necessarily true. When we see a woman who other men find attractive, we don't find her more attractive. We find her attractive contextually by basically the way she looks. Does that make sense? Which might be a reason, because women have this thing, it's called mate choice copying. It works in one direction, not the other. When mate choice copying, that might be the reason why women don't care as much about a man's body count. And obviously, when you listen to Adolfo Tex, or if you go listen to Mr. Beast and they go out, or How to Beast, and they go and ask women, what do you care about a body count? No, what's body count's too high? And by the way, let's do that here real quick. I'm very curious with this audience. What, for a man, if you were going to date a man, is there a body count that's too high from him?
And for the people at home, let's remember everyone is in some way affiliated with the industry.
Yes. Domo, is there a guy you would date where a body count's too high for a man?
No, I mean, if he has like multiple girlfriends at the same time, I might be a little like
concurrent. But
like,
Tiffany, what do you think? Is there a level that's too high?
I don't ask questions. I don't know. I don't want to know.
You are making my point for me, Sam. What about you?
I mean, no, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It makes no difference. What about you, Cindy? I'm sorry, Crystal.
Yes, I don't like must have, but like when it's like not a big number, so it's alright.
What do you think?
I don't care about their past.
If your dude had was notched 500, you wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care because I love him the way he is. I don't ask questions.
Christiana, what do you think?
Yeah, I always assume it's higher than mine, and I don't know what mine is, but I just always assume it's higher.
Okay, ready?
Wait. And Melina over here at the end of the table is like, I don't give a flying fuck.
I don't care about men, whatsoever. Have you guys ever seen a guy that you found attractive because other women found him attractive? Does that ever happen?
Always.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yes.
No. Anybody else? No.
That's my whole roster.
Yeah, it's your whole roster?
Fucking actor on 365 days. Oof.
Yeah, but other women found him attractive too.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Anybody else?
If a guy has
Christiana, have you ever felt that
higher
way?
body count than you do you find him unattractive?
I mean, I guess I would when, like, in my industry, when they're like, oh my God, that guy's hot. He knows how to fuck. I'm like, oh, he knows how to fuck?
Yeah.
It's how I got married like last time.
Yeah, so I guess word of mouth is a good thing for that.
We need to clarify.
Bella,
we need to
what do you
clarify
think?
terms.
Bella,
here.
do you like the fact? Does it turn you on at all when other women look at your dude?
Yeah, it's just like I think it turns them on when other men look at me.
I don't think it does. I bet it doesn't.
Melina, does it?
I bet it does.
Are you
turn him
hot
on
for a
because
girl if other girls look at that girl?
Yeah.
Really? So there's that. See, social proof even works.
Yeah, social proof. Pre-selection works both ways.
Pre-selection works both ways.
Both ways.
Yes.
Beautiful. Awesome, man. Do you want to try?
Wait, I have to clarify terms here really quickly. So everybody who's in the industry here, which is a lot, I think pretty much everybody. Do you count, like in body count, do you count the guys that you have worked with, or do you only count the guys that you're like, I just want to fuck him to fuck him?
Oh, no, I count people I've worked with. I mean, it's, yeah.
Okay, so you consider that.
Again, very enlightened and logical.
We have had other girls on here say, I only count the guys that I've been in a relationship with or I dated.
Like, it
as
doesn't
opposed
count. There's a film of it.
I know there's footage. I have the tapes.
Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I count it because I mean, I own what I do completely. So, yeah.
That's a good way
to Crystal, what about you? Do you count?
We call about body count, so
Yeah.
yes, it's count.
So,
like we
okay.
don't talk about emotional count
Tiffany.
or like.
You count?
I mean, I still wouldn't be able to count if I counted them off camera. I just gave up. I'm not like a 14-year-old boy that lets like, all right, Tommy, Timmy,
Jomo, how about you?
Johnny.
What's that?
The professional intercourse with the dude, does that count?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's part of it.
Yeah, I've heard, and maybe not as much as what Rollo was saying, but I have heard women before being like in monogamous relationships, and they consider themselves to be in a monogamous relationship while they have sex with men on camera, with different men on
Right.
camera. And like Sarah Jesse, she was here, and she said
It's
something.
something what you accept, like, you know,
Huh?
it's something what you accept because,
Yeah.
you know, I had a relationship and there was like, you know, like very interesting idea about, you know, I can shoot porn, but like, you know, like I cannot have sex like just for my pleasure.
Yeah.
And like,
Right.
even like, you know, for example, like, you know, like another like type of sex work, it's like escort and stuff.
Mhm.
Like I'm not doing this and like, but the idea is like, you know, like I cannot do this, but I only can do this. So like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like different type of shit matter.
Yeah. So
Different type of shit, man.
there's something really crazy because you're going to be at Little Darlings, right? So I used to work at 2 strip clubs at the same time. I was at Palazzo, if you've ever been to Austin, Texas, and then I was at Expose, which is now called the Red Rose, and they were like kind of across the street from each
that
other.
one.
Expose was topless, Palazzo was fully nude.
So you were
and,
a whore.
And
Wait a second. Palazzio's fully nude?
Yeah, I don't know if it is now, but it was then. It was 20 years ago. It was fully nude.
I'm asking
Yeah.
because like my ex-husband went into a private room Palazzo and
Yeah.
said he didn't do anything.
Yeah, he probably didn't do anything. It's against the law. Like, you can't. So here's the thing: the girls, the girls who do.
This is funny.
Here we go. The girls who were
That's why he's
topless.
an ex.
The girls who were topless
ex-happy.
would they by the way, they rarely crossed over the girls. The girls who would go and dance topless, they thought that the girls who were in the fully nude place were whores because they showed their vaginas. But remember, in Texas, you can't sit on a guy's lap without bottoms on. So the girls who were filming or dancing fully nude thought that the girls who were topless were whores because they were sitting on guys' laps and actually letting these dudes touch them. And it was so crazy.
What the fuck?
Yes, I know. It was madness. It was madness how they both thought this about each other. And so one of the funny things is, I've talked to many girls before. Well, I had Corey Yee on my show, and one of the things she said that was crazy is that she has female friends who will literally go fuck dudes for money in a hotel room but won't have an OnlyFans. And I've seen this happen before, where girls with OnlyFans think that prostitutes are dirty, and girls who are prostitutes think that girls with OnlyFans are dirty.
Oh,
You know, when I started doing porn 10 years ago, like, so, like, I started doing this from Russia, like,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like, you know, like, in this country, like, start doing porn, like, you know, you have to be cuckoo or, like, just in love and
Yeah.
porn. And I remember there we have a, like, site, it's called Shock Models, and, like, you know, if any model, like, just, like, show their titties and stuff, like, they, like, actually, like, immediately get on this site, and you have to pay money to, like, be input and down, like, from that. And I remember I got, like, in that site, and, like, the people start, like, blackmailing me, like, oh, like everyone gonna know. I'm like, oh, wow, really? Okay, come on. I'm like, why you need it? And they told me one thing, what, like, you know, when you do something behind a closed door, behind the counter, like our curtains, you can do whatever you want, even fire, like, fuck, you know, like 50 people, and, like, you still can pretend like you're a saint. But if you explore yourself, like, you know, like, online, like, so be ready to be fucked. So that's why, like, it's all about hypocrisy. Like, when nobody knows, you can still pretend what you're good mother for your nice kids. But now, like, I cannot say what I'm doing.
But a great example is that how this whole country like sort of sweeps porn under the rug, and then you come to AVN, and it's just like thousands of dudes like waiting to get autographs from their favorite porn. It is one of these things.
Dude, in Florida, they got billboards for swingers resorts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What did you say about the porn saving more marriages than it's
and that's actually, I've got a whole bunch of topics about pornography on this. So this is the all porn episode. But no, corn. Sorry,
man, y'all
guys are breaking your rules.
Whenever thank you. You did this to me, by the way. You did this to me.
Hey, it's a team effort.
When I walked like last year and then this year when I walk around the expo, and thank God I was only there for like 1 hour this time, but like when I would walk around, I'm like, I hope like people, like if they recognize me, I got my tag on that says Rollo Tomasi on there, right? Like, and I've met people who are like fans of my work and everything. Like they want to get a selfie or whatever.
You have a lot of male fans there, yes.
But here's the thing: is like if they're at that convention and they know, like if I say porn is really kind of sedation kind of thing, that's usually corn. There's no. Trust me, we're canceled. Yeah, we're canceling on that.
Doesn't sedate you at all.
Well, but the thing is like I'm always worried about guys like at that expo going, oh God, that's Rollo. I don't want him to say. I want him to know I'm here.
I know.
I saw that too.
Yes. Like no.
It's okay. They just come and talk to me.
Yeah. Instead. Yeah. But no. But the thing is but what more to your point here is like I think a lot of people like if you think about like how popular pornography is, and it hasn't come out yet, but I think it comes out in February. But Pornhub, the blog, not the actual porn site, but the side where they keep the statistics.
Pornhub.
Mm-hmm. Although no, we can say Pornhub because it's a proper name. Okay, so Pornhub, the website blog. If you go to the blog site, the non-porn site, and you look, every year they produce. I could probably go find it now. They produce all the statistics because we have never had this in human history. The ability to track people's sexual appetites over the course of years, right? And in this case, I don't know how long Pornhub has been around, but it's like at least 10 years now, right? So I mean,
I would think so. Yeah, so, even more so.
It was more than 10 years.
Yeah,
probably more than that. But now we have somewhere in the neighborhood of like 10 to 15 years of like documentable statistics on the appetites of people, what they're into, and even how they misspell what they're looking for in like search browsers.
Yeah, if you misspell a porn star's name, it respells your name very quickly. Yes. I have a question for you ladies real quick before we go on to the next one. Yeah. So right now I'd say the statistics, again, these are from a couple years ago, so they might not be up to date, but about 28% of men under the age of 30 are virgins. About 28%. But the number of men under the age of 30 that have had zero sexual partners is somewhere between 28, 30, maybe 33%, somewhere in that area, maybe a little bit lower, but it's about a little bit more than a quarter of men. On average, what remind me the mean and the median. The mean, the average number of sexual partners for a man in the U.S. is 15, but that's skewed because there's several dudes who have like 1,000 partners. The median is 5. That's about what it is for men. So when you understand those concepts and you understand that idea, do you think that maybe because of the rise of social media and pornography, do you think porn actually hurts men's ability to communicate with women in a normal fashion? Go ahead, Tiff.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because like you limit yourself from physical interaction. You're not going out and talking to women in real life. So you lose that connection that you have with yourself with another being. And then also, you're giving it a good jerk and everything. Swick. I think they lose feeling down there too.
Canceled.
Oh my God.
I think they lose feeling down there, but then it's like, also, I feel like Gen Z is going to have AI girlfriends.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
I feel like women are going to be obsolete and we're going to be replaced with birthing pods.
Christiana, do you think men can be too addicted to porn?
Whoa. Can you be too addicted to porn? I love the men who are too addicted to porn because that really helps my numbers a lot.
Prime Democrat.
Yeah.
This is the most honest, enlightened woman we've had on here since Alexis Fox.
I love her.
Bless her.
Yeah. That woman tells it like it is.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
All right, you ready for? Okay, actually, the 2023 stats are out now.
Okay.
All right, here we go. The number one trend in pornography, the number one niche. What do you think it is, ladies?
MILFs.
Anyone else? Huh?
Teen.
The same?
Teen.
Anyone else?
Like stepbrothers.
Oh my God!
Oh
yes.
yeah, incestuous stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think?
Incest is family thing. Yeah.
What do you think, Brittany? What do you think the number one most searched for niche of porn is in 2023?
Orgy. I guess I'm gonna go with orgy. I don't know.
All right. What do you think? Well, you can see it.
I can't see it. I'm blind as shit, Rolo.
Okay.
I think it's lesbians.
Okay.
I would say
Old people.
Cuck.
Oh yeah, might be.
Yeah. Samantha, what do you think it is?
I think like different races together.
Interracial.
Interracial.
Yeah.
What do you think? Sorry, it's not lesbian.
Stepbrother, stepsister.
Stepbrothers? Okay.
Yeah, have you guys ever read? You should read. You guys should read the book called Dataclysm, or I'm sorry, the book called Everybody Lies, and it'll go into these stats right here about where the better sport terms are.
The number one niche is MILF. You're right. It is golden age. Mature searches grew by plus 77%.
Mature.
And became the second most popular category among men, led by mature cougar.
Okay, supply with work until I die.
Amazing. Well, looks like I got a chance now.
MILF became the second most searched term worldwide. DILF. Terms, including muscle DILF, grew by plus 71%. And
give it up for the
last but not least, you guys are some sick motherfuckers. Granny searches gained plus 132%.
It's gotta be the Gen Z.
Gills? You guys are into gills?
Definitely
Go,
Gen
Granny.
Z.
Go, Granny.
GILF. By the search term GILF went by plus 168%, almost 200%. Terms like sexy granny and hot GILF are the most trendy.
He's like, I want to know where the MILF learned it from. Like, oh, she get it from her mom.
She did not.
Would you like to know?
Hopefully not.
Would you like to know what the number 2 search one is?
I'm not sure already.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Supersized. The term big, bigger, biggest grew by plus 177%.
Wow.
Remember, supersized does not necessarily mean overweight. Okay, huge knockers, huge cock, and
busty.
huge dildo are also on their massive.
Can we clip that? Can somebody out there on YouTube clip that?
Yes,
Huge dildo.
that's the clip. Yeah. Yes. Okay, and so big boobs, I can imagine. Let's see, big tits grew by 130% or 31%.
What about butt sex?
That's not on there. Sex machines was number 3.
You guys are
what the fuck?
The butt sex.
Number 4, uniforms. Uniforms?
Schoolgirl uniforms.
Well, you're the only one.
You're the only military uniform,
Yes.
cop uniform.
I mean,
Wait, military uniform, cop uniform, man in uniform, soldier. All right. Okay, search gained 332%, with female soldier outranking military soldier or gay soldier.
Y'all need Jesus.
God bless the
wow.
troops.
Yes.
Go to church.
Thank you for our service.
Yes. Thank you for your service. Oh, man.
What did we do?
Wait, Michael's blushing.
When people met porn stars, they were like, "The champ is here." When people met porn stars, they were like, "Thank you for your service." When people said that, they were like, they walked up to some streetwalkers out there in one of these fucking casinos, and they were like, "Thank you for your service."
Carpet a lot actually like that. They say this.
Yeah, the carpet walkers. Thank you for your service.
Okay. Most searched for terms of 2023: hentai. MILF.
Wow.
Yeah, tentacle porn. Don't look it up.
Love it.
Lesbian was number 3. Japanese was number 4. Penne. What's penne?
You know, I once met a girl who liked horse porn, and she showed me horse porn, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
And that's the clip. That right there is really the clip.
Donkey shows in Mexico.
And then you saw it, and you like, and now you like horse porn. Is that what you're
I
saying?
don't like horse porn. I think it traumatized me.
Why did it traumatize you?
To this day, I've been traumatized because seeing a horse and a female together, it just isn't right. That girl needs Jesus. She needs Jesus.
Yeah.
Stepmom.
Actually, she might need her stitches. Actually, I don't know about.
And then she said she wants to hook up with an alien.
I put that on my Starbucks cup.
I think that's popular right now.
My bio on dating apps, if I was single, would be cat dilf. That would be my cat dilf.
Okay, stepmoms. I think somebody said stepmoms.
Yep.
Stepmoms is number 10, actually. Anime, threesome, ebony, so 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, where do you think BBC is? Fresh. That's right around number 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hold on, ladies.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever entered any of these search terms into a porn website? Any of you ladies, have you ever done that? Have you ever looked up lesbian on a porn site?
Lesbian?
Yes.
Machine, yes, I did.
do it for resources.
For research. Christiana, have you ever looked up things?
Yeah, sex machine, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bella?
That is on the list.
I have one.
Bella, you look up porn stuff, porn sites?
Oh my God, no comment.
Wow, this is what you're embarrassed about? Have you hurt yourself? Are you kidding me? Crystal, what about you?
So
She'll tell you about body count, but she won't tell you what her sex search terms are.
Like and stuff. Yeah, of course. Like I like seeing like lesbian movies, and like I like seeing the gay porn like a lot. Actually.
Okay, I'll be honest. I looked up tranny corn. Okay.
And now we're canceled.
She meant transmission.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Transmission.
Samantha, what do you think?
Is that bad?
You've looked up gangbangs? You have? You looked up with your partner?
What's your? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Threesomes.
Okay, those are the main ones you looked up. Okay,
Double penetration.
I didn't even know you could look stuff up on porn sites. I've never seen them.
Oh, really?
I looked up
making cakes.
Oh, definitely making cakes. I had to learn from
that reminds me of what I
the trad thought in training because I'm the OG trad thought. I mean, come on. I baked a cake. Everybody looks like enjoyed it.
Wait, you really made this cake? Because
No,
I saw
she
a porn where a
did
girl
not.
made a cake and
Yes.
where she put the batter and then the batter came back out.
Oh.
And then she baked the cake. So I was like,
no.
You know,
did you
make
make
corn.
That's not what we're talking about.
Wow.
You know, hot corn.
And now we're canceled.
Like women,
Now we're definitely
like
canceled.
men doing things around the house, like cleaning and cooking.
I looked up
and
That would
lesbian
be-
porn.
that would be a hot
lesbian corn and,
Okay.
and gangbangs.
Yeah.
I look up double penetration.
Wait, you guys didn't
Really?
even say
I
my
haven't
category.
done it. I'm just very fascinated.
Looking out.
Would
It
you
hurts.
want to, or you just like?
No,
you're just
I
fascinated
said this
by
on
it?
another podcast before. There's like
hurts.
a nerdy girl who brought it to my attention, and she said the moment that the two dicks go in her, and
we're
then her
canceled
eyes
already. Go
roll
ahead.
back. She's like, I want to feel that, and I was like, whoa, I want to feel that too.
Listen, I don't know why you have to call out Lana like that. Like she's not even here to defend herself. That is messed up that you did that. Lana's not even here to defend
It's
herself.
anal backwards.
Yeah, anal backwards.
All right.
Like
what-
I said.
What is Melina the?
Oh God.
I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. What do you look up?
What do I look up? I like lesbian porn
Clearly.
and I like orgies.
Or do the orgies have guys in them or just girls?
Guys are allowed.
They're allowed?
Allowed? They're
Okay.
tolerated? It depends on the guy.
They're human dildos.
It's like musical chairs but naked.
Now,
Oh my
now
gosh.
should we ask Baby Hercules what his
Yeah.
I don't watch corn.
corn?
Oh.
Oh, you don't?
We're far beyond that now. All right. Who do you think
Good
the
for
most?
you.
Let's just do the first three. Who do you think the top three most searched for porn stars are?
Ooh.
Lana
the Plug.
I don't even know.
Oh, yeah, Lena.
Lena
Bella
is.
Danger, Angela
she's not
White,
in the top
Alex
five.
Adams.
She's not even in the top 5. She's not even in the top 10.
Angela
Lana
White.
My top
Angela
Angela White's number two.
Angela
Bella
White's
Danger.
number
So-
2.
Oh, Johnny said
Mia
I-
Khalifa.
Like, no, Mia Khalifa. No, but it's funny because Lana Rhodes is number 4, and that's
Adriana
crazy because she hasn't done porn in a long
I
time.
know.
Corn.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. I don't get the Angela. Again, Angela White seems like a very nice person. I'm not trying to denigrate her or whatever, but like, what is the thing? Because I'm missing it.
Well, you
like,
just
Because she's from down under, mate. She got that Aussie
I can't hear
accent.
you. Everybody's talking the same time. What?
Go.
Oh, because you just said extra big
Like,
titties or really.
No,
so-
she does everything. Like, did you see her porn ever? Like, when I see her porn, like, all my holes just, like, squeezing, like, like that.
All my holes, they squeezing just like that.
You clench
Let's
up.
clip this.
Like,
I clench up.
When I'm
clenches up.
seeing, like, what she doing, like, like, I'm like just,
Oh,
wow.
so Angela White is big because she'll do anything.
She's a nutty
She
girl.
just, yes. Yeah, like, like, come on. Like,
And
for,
really
like,
gorgeous.
Okay,
too.
number one. Who do you think it is? Abella.
I just said it.
I don't even know who Abella is. I've never even heard of this person.
I only
She
know.
has a gorgeous back.
I know who Lana is because she has a podcast.
I'm embarrassed to say maybe I'm not. I know who Abella Danger is. You know why? Because
a nice
because
ass.
she has shot with Mike Tang, our photographer.
Okay, yeah, that makes
Oh.
sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she makes really pretty. Like, I love how she's really into women.
There we
She's
go.
very
I think that would
into
kind of
Lana.
be.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
You haven't said this, the one that I search for when I really do
Okay.
watch porn.
What?
It's amateur.
Amateur.
Because like, since I'm in the
I think it's
industry,
actually next.
It's
Probably
oh, it
is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here we go. Amateur models. You wanted the top 3 of them?
Okay, good.
Okay, who do you think the top?
Oh wait, top. Oh, wait, I don't really want to know their names.
Do you even know this? I mean, this is
Really?
Well, yeah,
Christiana, because you're number 6. Like, that's really.
maybe next year. Maybe.
Yeah.
Candy Love.
No
Candy
idea.
Love. Oh yes.
Sweetie Fox. Ladies, can we come up with creativity?
Actually, no, because men are dumb.
Creativity.
Men don't care. That's why we don't have a creativity.
And number 3 is Porn Force. That's her name. I didn't say.
Oh.
That's a proper name, YouTube.
See, that's why they're amateur. We don't know who they are.
Yeah, because of that. Let's see. Most searched for terms, lesbian, MILF, hentai. We already got through that. Okay.
You want to look at that other clip?
Yeah, we can.
Right.
Before I get even
All right, can we pull this up real quick?
You want that one?
Yeah, let's do that one.
Okay.
Let's do that one.
Oh,
All right, this one is
this
for Bella. Ready? Go ahead.
Okay, we ready to go? Here we go.
My soon-to-be husband, like, he treats me well, he respects me, I don't have to ask for anything, but at the same time, I also do what I'm supposed to do with a woman. I cook, I clean, I suck, I fuck, I shut the fuck up. So I don't
Damn
think
right,
you're a
sis.
man.
I do.
Okay, so hold on. Let's see. What do you think about this, Bella?
I think 100% right. I do this for Curtis. I cook, I clean, I shut up.
Christiana, what do you think?
That's
I
why I'm
mean,
not
whatever
married.
makes her happy is great, but I mean, I'm not that woman. I mean, I could cook and clean, and I'm really bad at cleaning. I'm good at making messes. Like,
Just have him buy you a Roomba. What do you think? What you don't agree with that?
All right.
That's why I'm not. I
With
don't
dudes?
have a boyfriend. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Domo?
Everybody has their own pursuit to happiness.
Sure.
That's not really mine, but I do feel that if you want to be in a good relationship, you make sacrifices. And
Wow,
you
that's
do things.
again, that is very enlightened. Some of you ladies have had some very enlightened answers,
Well,
which is this might not be for me, but I do understand that it works as a very enlightened answer. No, I'm serious. I mean, like that's actually really because a lot of women won't even admit that.
Right.
That's interesting. Tiffany, what do you think?
I mean, I cook, I clean. I don't really shut the fuck up, but I do suck a mean dick, and I like to bring a third in sometimes.
Oh my God.
You
A
got
third finger? Oh, sorry, a third
Most
girl.
of them
Got it.
are
A third
girls.
person. I didn't know what that was. Okay, cool.
Well, to be said, like it's the way I grew up too. I grew up with like watching my grandma from like Portugal and Europe. She came here to this country, and my grandfather took care of her, and he worked, and she was always cooking and cleaning, and I watched her, and to me, it's something that makes me happy and kind of turns me on a little to cook and clean and to see the happiness because it's how I was raised and the culture I was raised in.
Got it.
That's like the same. My grandparents are from Italy, and my grandmother did the same thing.
Yeah, it depends how you're raised as a woman.
Crystal, what do you think?
So like it's again like for different like couples like it's different ideas, but like as I think now I can say I don't cook, I don't clean, but like it's all about like when we met the person like like we are like want to do things for them. It's like like for example like I don't need to be asked like to cook or something, but like I'm doing just because I want it. And so it's not about like like I get like like wife or husband or something like okay now I gotta do this because like for example like in my now relationship like like my wife like cooking and stuff. And so like it's yes like when you like love person like you gotta do like like something which is comfortable for each other.
Yeah, relationships are about
work,
50-50.
like no. And for example I don't like to clean, like okay I can like like hire the maid, and so like okay still it's not about like to do the things
Compromise.
yourself. It's not about to do and fix yourself. It's about like how you can organize like your part of the things. And,
Is
like,
the maid hot?
I'm gonna have to disagree with the 50-50.
yes,
I think
yes.
if a relationship is 100 and 100.
Oh yes, that too. But you guys should all be equal with each other. Like if I'm cooking and cleaning, he's taking care of me in other ways. Like
The
we're
100
taking care
and
of each
100
other.
is full and
Yes,
full.
we are doing a full circle. And we are taking care of each other, and that's how our relationship works.
Samantha, what do you think?
I think both partners need to be doing everything.
Yeah.
It's not just me
The
cooking.
man
and
needs to
cleaning.
suck
The
and fuck and shut the
also
fuck up?
Absolutely. The man needs to shut the fuck up. Absolutely, 100%.
Especially
we have to do what
it's-
we're best at, like
especially
somebody's
if
best
there's
at sucking, like, yeah, sure,
children.
do this.
Right.
Just don't do it in front of the children. That's all I'm saying.
don't do it in front
Don't
of
do it in front of the children. Okay. Do we have another one? Do we
Put
listen to
them to
Sadia?
bed.
This one is actually kind of apropos to what we're talking about today.
Which one?
The Sadia one.
Oh, do you want to do that
Yeah,
one?
let's do that
Okay.
one real quick.
Okay, see if I can grab her real quick. Sure. This is Sadia on Chris Williamson, my
and also just kind of undoing some of the damage from the red pill conversation.
How do you mean?
Here's another. I feel like it's done the exact terrible impact that feminism had at women's belief about men. Red pill kind of did the exact same for men. It gave them a home. For the men that hate women, it gave them a home, but it's in the wrong hands. It's okay when it's in the hands of psychologists and people who understand human nature, but when it's in the hands of a 27-year-old boy who just wants to make it in social media, or somebody whose life experience is just making TikToks, and he's the one teaching men how to view women, it's dangerous. It's super, super dangerous. So I would love to undo the damage of some of that.
There you go.
All right, what do you think? I'm curious. I don't even know, because I think a lot of the girls here might not even know what the red pill community is.
So I'm just gonna tear her down here really quickly. I'm gonna quote Nick Krauser, who is, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's old school PUA guy. Nick used to say this, is that the red pill and game and pickup artistry has done more for understanding intersexual dynamics and human social sexuality in the 15 years, 20 years that it's been around than psychology or sociology has been able to do in like hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Because the guys go out and because there were certain ethical considerations that, social scientists and psychologists had, like experimental psychologists had, that they simply couldn't go do, right? One of the reasons why I think that we hold like David Buss in such high esteem is because he was doing things that nobody would really like organize to go do.
Sure.
Because it wasn't ethical, or if it wasn't something that people would really have maybe even the cultures that he was going to go and survey would have been a little bit put off by some of the questions he was asking them, because there's also the cultural aspect of it as well. But now we live in a society once again where the genie's out of the bottle and the toothpaste ain't going back in the fucking toothpaste tube again. And to say that, oh, well, only us qualified academicians, are the ones that ought to be talking about this stuff. Well, fuck you. Because the guys who went out there during the early years, during the mid 2000s, went out there into the clubs, went out there into the field, did the field work, came back, said, you know what, this is working, this isn't working, and we ought to go back and okay, it's hypothesis. It's just the scientific method. Yes. Is all it is. It's like, did this work? This part of this hypothesis worked, but this didn't seem to replay in the field, or somebody from Johannesburg, South Africa does something that a guy in Los Angeles does, that a guy in Japan does, that a guy in, Estonia does, and they all compare notes. And the problem is that we're at the point where we're at right now, and they're even having this conversation as a result of 15 to 20 years of these guys doing this in the first place.
It's so funny. Part of the thing that maybe Chris Williamson is not aware of this, but like his whole platform exists because an opening was created because this discussion was had by people outside of academics.
Right.
Meaning, like, and I'm not just talking about Fresh and Fit. We go all the way back.
She doesn't exist
without
the
we could go all the way back to,
and nobody would be talking. No one would care what she has to say if it hadn't been for pickup artists, if it hadn't been for the blue pill, the red pill, the MGTOW, whatever, everything that's happened in the last. No, because I've been a part of it for the last 22 years. And so when I see little cutesy what's her fuck on every goddamn show right now, it's like, you wouldn't exist if it weren't for the guys who came before you.
So to her point, one of the things that happens is when people don't like your point of view, what they say is, I don't agree with you, and everything you believe in causes school shootings. Like that's the sort of mentality.
Yeah.
And one of these situations
and if you keep talking about it, you're going to make things worse.
There are humans that are misogynists. We're absolutely aware of that. And have certain misogynists found a home on certain red pill sites? They have, but there's not red pill people. Like, Rollo is not going out there telling anyone to hate women. Absolutely not at all. And then the other part that happens,
the opposite.
Yeah. And then the other part that happens is when it's when they're like, well, we're going to quote red pill sources, and then it's Pearl Davis, and I'm like, well, I don't know that Pearl really speaks for everybody in this place, and it's just, but it's just one of these situations. Like, look, Pearl can speak for Pearl, but my point is, like, the idea that what happens is the media is like, I need to reduce red pill into something that I can hate and attack. Right. So what I'm going to do is say all misogynists go there. Democrats did something very similar. Right. All Trump supporters were racist. Like, they in order to reduce it, to make it very simple for you, they say that. So all these misogynists go into this red pill community, and it's like, no matter what good they did by actually trying to expose things when it came to human nature, that good is outweighed by the fact that the bad was that there were misogynists in the community. And the other part of it, and this is very important, it's like, with a lot of these content creators, they want to grow, they want to become viral, they want to become influential. And if red pill content creators are more influential than them, then they need to kind of shit on them.
Well, yeah, and then I also want to point out the academia side of all this as well. So let's just say, for sake of argument, you go, and I don't know if she's got a doctorate, or this is Dr. Sadia Khan or whatever her fucking name is. Okay, if you're going to get a doctorate, and I know this because I have a degree in psychology when it comes to like a bachelor's of science in behaviorism, basically. But I do know this is that if you want to make any kind of money in psychology, you have to get your doctorate. There's like otherwise, if you get a master's, you're going to be a social worker. That's basically what you're and you went to all that school so you can be a social worker. Well, let's just say, for sake of argument, you go to school for what, 8 or 10 years to get your doctorate in psychology. Then you got to go and you want to go into private practice. You can either go into private practice or you can go and teach. Those are really the two things that you can do. So if you go into private practice, you've got to go get malpractice insurance. You've got to go hire somebody to do your secretary. You've got to have a place to go and do it. You've got to have all kinds of insurance. Think about the amount of money and the investment it would take to become a clinical psychologist today. And then you see somebody like John from Modern Life Dating on there who's just like making money hand over
I see what you're saying.
Sitting in a fucking bubble bath and just like, hey,
so just imagine if you guys spent, like you said before, $50,000, $100,000 getting.
I love you, John.
Getting a PhD in psychology, and then there's people spouting psychology who got no degree whatsoever, and they're making $1 million a year.
And they never had to like take out student loans. They never had to get the insurance. They never had to like pay for a place to go and have a private practice or anything like that. So what happens is people like her have to go out there and become a public figure. They have to go write a book. They have to go do talk shows.
I don't blame her for that. Obviously, she wants to make a living.
I know she has to do what everybody else has to do. And by the way, even if you're a pastor or a minister or a religious figure as well, you have to do the same thing.
Yeah,
you have to have your worship your worship session has to be online. You have to have it on YouTube. You've got to be able to respond to all the people in your parish or your congregation, whatever. It's the same principle. But we're far beyond, and I'm guilty of this. Probably everybody on this podcast is, we're our own personal brands, and we have to go out there and we have to, you appear or you disappear. I get that, but the problem is people like this have put in so much investment in themselves before they even got to this point. Now they're playing catch up to guys like, like Chris Williamson or like even Garrett right now, because Garrett hasn't even been doing this that long. She would got people who have put more investment into themselves have to catch up to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is part of the thing where they'll look at it like somebody's a psychologist or whatever, and then they see me as a performance coach, and I don't have the same degrees they do, and yet we're just way more successful.
So how do you get more successful like that? You throw firebombs out.
You throw Molotov
cocktails. And who do you go for? The biggest dude on the prison yard.
That's what you go run up the flagpole.
Exactly.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, cool. Yeah, that actually wasn't the Sadia Khan one I sent you, so it was a different one.
I'm sorry. Let me go grab. Which one was it?
Right here, very first one.
First one.
See right underneath there. Okay, let's do one more here. Can you guys can you pull this up?
All right, this is us right now. Hold on. Which one is it?
Wait, what is it?
Because that one went to our site.
Oh, that's crazy. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, you know what? Forget about it. I lost it. It's fine.
Do you want to go to which one do we want to go to?
I think we got them all. Unless you
I think we got to most of them.
All of them. All right. Awesome.
I have some porn questions.
Go ahead.
Corn. Everybody likes corn. So this was a really good question and I have to give him credit for it. John from It's Complicated, when we were talking to him yesterday, and I want to get an opportunity to ask everybody at the table, and I don't think you really got to answer very well on this, but as I was saying before. It's not enough to just be a corn star anymore. Mm-hmm. You have to have engagement. It's no longer enough for you to just go do a movie and be done with it. You have to have engagement with your fans. You have to be able to, and you've got to be on call basically all the time. You've got to have.
It's now we kind of get divorced from porn. Like really, before, I just get on set, I get my script, I get makeup, I'm just say and do what I have to. So now I have to create all this environment myself.
Right.
And of course, it's kind of.
So what I was saying before.
But at the same time, you can brand yourself much better.
If you are a public figure, if you are a brand of me, a personal brand, and you are a psychologist or you're a pastor or you're a porn star as well, because you're basically everybody's in the same business. It's engagement media. Everybody wants to be able to have access to you 24/7. They want your email. They want to be able to slide into your DMs and take you on a yacht party in Miami somewhere.
Dicky pics.
Exactly. Well, so and by the way, it's not enough just to like you can be a professional about that, but you were the one who was it you who said you search for amateur porn?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so even if you're porn force, if you're one of these Candy Cox, whatever her name is.
No, I don't want to know what their names are.
Yeah, I know.
No.
But even the amateurs have to do the same thing. They have to be on call, or they have to be at least putting themselves out there and constantly putting stuff out. So the question that John asked was this: do you consider yourself a quote unquote porn star, or do you consider yourself a content creator now?
Yeah, content creator.
You consider now. What do you think it would be the difference between content creation and actually just being like, say, a commercial porn star?
Content creation, you're really more in control of what content is going out there. But I think when there was a porn star, they had like yesterday. Oh, you'll like this. I shot with Tabitha Stevens. And maybe you guys are too young.
I'm friends with her. I know. She lives here. She lives here.
Yes.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
But she told me back when she was actively doing it, they had contracts and they had all these things put in place that were really owned by the studios, but everything was taken care of, and now it's more like independent. We have to be in control of that ourselves. But she seemed really smart and like smarter than like a lot of people.
Yeah, Tabitha actually
she really marketed herself
so
well, and she really didn't care about anybody else's path. She seemed to go really far with it, so I really liked her.
Let me ask you a question. So when you film, are you able to decontextualize that as like there's no emotional response to whoever you're having sex with?
Decontextualize means
like you have no emotional response to the person. You compartmentalize.
Thank you. Yes, I could definitely compartmentalize.
Okay.
Because there's some people who I work with on site who I didn't even particularly like.
Yes.
But I got to do it because it's work.
Could you? But could you always do that?
Could I always do that?
Yeah.
Oh, before the adult industry.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think in like the beginning when I was like adolescent, I would do like fool around with like a boy. I would like really like them a lot. Maybe it was like the oxytocin boost, and I'd be like, oh my God, I like him, he's the best. But then after a couple weeks, I'd be like, he's really not that everything. But maybe since I got so much of that out of the way, maybe now as an adult, I don't get that anymore.
So you since you've been an adult, you've been able to like compartmentalize.
Yes, completely.
What about you, Crystal? Was there a point where like you fell in love with every dude you slept with, and then you were able to compartmentalize that?
It's hard for me to fall in love, and like.
Was it always like that?
And the porn set, like, for me, it's more like, like a game, like, to make my partners believe what we have a chemistry.
Okay. Incredible. Have you been able? Are you able to compartmentalize it?
Yes.
Okay. Was it always that way?
Yes.
Really, even before you did adult stuff, you were able to.
No, like just like hooking up with guys.
Yeah.
No, I think I'd catch feelings and stuff, but I was also like naive and weak.
When did the transition happen? Do you think for you? Just doing
when
pornography.
I became a dominatrix.
Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then you had no respect for men whatsoever.
Look,
you have no respect for them whatsoever.
I have respect for them, but I'm able to fulfill like my sexual fantasies and my desires, and also, hold back, like not give in to my feelings.
That's absolutely right. Here's this whip, hey, pay pig, whap, like that, and you just you feel better about yourself.
You've been in the business how long now?
10 years.
So how old were you when you started?
24.
24?
Yes.
And you were in how long?
I turned 32 in March. I got into the business when I was 19.
Okay, so was there a point before 19 where you were able to compartmentalize? Or you weren't able to compartmentalize, meaning when you had sex with a guy?
Not before the porn industry, no.
So you always were able to decontextualize sex?
I mean, yeah, I've only been in love once, and it was like 10 years ago.
I broke your heart.
The one that got away, I'm alpha widow.
Yeah, sorry, we saw him on Twitter. Milana,
Yes.
What do you think?
How long have you been in?
Since 2018.
Okay, so this is a little different question because I've had different people on here, and there's also been some work that's done on this. The oxytocin release that women get from having sex with men is not the same as when they have sex with women. And so what I've had women tell me is like they'll have sex with a woman, and that obsessive feeling they have after they have sex with a guy doesn't show up. Have you noticed that, or is that something that you've noticed in between, or do you get obsessed with every woman that you've been with?
Well, I'm always excited to do my scenes. And I'm super into girls.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I have chemistry with almost every girl I'm shooting with.
So I guess what I mean by like, so for instance, when I talk to girls who like had threesomes or whatever, they'll be attached to the guy that they're with, but the girl they just like they kick them out, like they don't even care. This never happened to you? No.
I'm like that too, though. Like I do get more butterflies for women than I do for men.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
even like when I was like sort of really having sex with women, I was. Like if I saw her like with another woman, like I would get like a little like that tinge of jealousy, and I didn't like it, but I still kind of got it, and I'm like, oh my god, I really like this girl, but like I'm catching the feelings, and I do catch feelings now. I feel like more for women, and
wow,
yeah, in a weird, not in a weird way, but like it's just a natural way, and yeah. But when I do work for
6,000 people just subscribe to your OnlyFans. What happened? What just happened?
But when I do a scene for like with a woman who doesn't really like women, and I'm like getting feelings for her, and I'm like, oh no, like, I feel weird because I know she's not into me. She's not really into girls, but I'm really liking her. So I have to.
I like to turn it out.
Anybody here had a threesome with a pillow princess? Anybody?
A pillow princess?
Yeah, you have.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. That's
wait, not me, right?
Do you?
Okay.
Oh, wait.
You are fabulous, baby.
Tell it. Wait, we have a question. We got a question from the noob.
Define pillow princess.
So the way I look at it is like this: pillow princess is going to participate in the lesbian activities from the belly button up, but not the belly button down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like so, it's a woman who other people can go down on, but she's not going down on
I've
any
always
woman.
heard it as someone who like basically just starfishes, doesn't do any work.
Oh, that's another term for it. But I'm in a threesome, a pillow princess is the girl who won't go down on the other girl. Yeah, that's it. Generally, do you ever get butterflies for women?
Yeah.
Yeah, more so than men.
About the same.
About the same? Yeah. Do you feel the same level of attachment? Like meaning, like, does the monogamy mean the same thing with a relationship with a woman as it does with a man?
I think so.
You think so? Yeah.
Yes.
So would you be able to have a relationship with a woman while you're dating the guy you're currently dating?
No, because he wouldn't be okay with that.
If he was okay with it, do you think he could?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, because the women I've been with are like that. I don't see. It's kind of weird to explain. It's like there's like different dimensions in physics. I feel like her relationship with a woman is not in the same dimension as my relationship with her, and I don't even see. It's not even competition. I just don't even see them as like the same material, the same form of matter whatsoever. I don't see one.
It's different type of love. It's different even type of oxytocin we're getting from. Like we're more like hook up emotionally, and like with guys it's like it's more about like this love when you want to get like under, and like with women it's more about like we're on the same level, like try to hug each other.
Got it.
Is it because of the height thing? Is that why you're saying?
I'm sure.
Hey, so I have a question.
Everyone is told to me.
I have a question for you two. Why is it that lesbian couples report domestic abuse at a far greater rate than regular than heterosexual couples? Anybody?
Or gay couples for that.
Or gay couples. Why? What do you think it is?
Because they're more emotional.
And so they're more likely to call the cops.
They're more likely to call the cops.
Anybody? What do you have?
Yes, it's like we're more emotional, we're more violent, and as I say, like when we're on the peak of our argument, like we're ready to like crash it all.
That is exactly why if I
can you imagine if like I'm fighting with a guy that can calm it down?
You know what I think it is?
I have to pay attention to every like word that comes out. Really? Because like, I'm trying to. It's so rapid fire.
You know what I think it is? You know what? I think the reason why is because lesbians can't knock each other out. They don't have enough punching power, and so they just keep they keep doing it over and over again. That's the reason why.
The infinite cat fight.
Like two gay guys.
We just yell each other until we come.
Yeah. Two gay dudes. Bam! It's over. Like they're gonna knock the shit out of each other, and then they're not gonna fight again. You know what I'm saying? That's all it was. I'm sorry. With lesbians, like hair pulling, they can't quite get it done. It's like middleweight boxing. They can't quite get the knockout.
How long have you been doing porn?
10 years.
10 years? And how old were you when you started?
24.
24.
Same
thing? Mm-hmm. 24? You started 10 years, 24?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I made sex videos way before that, but I think professionally it was, yes.
Okay. Oh, can I ask you a question? The difference between the difference between what you do studio and what you do on Patreon, OF, or whatever. What is the difference for you?
Yeah, that was the next question.
What do you make significantly more money from your own content creation or from studio?
Well, with a studio, you just get paid the one time, and then with your own content, you could pretty much there's no cap. There's really no cap on it.
So you would say you make significantly more from your paid stuff than you do from studio?
Yes, indeed. And like also, for example, like my OnlyFans, it's more like there's like like very little amount of dudes. It's more about like me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
Like beautiful woman, and like like I can like happily make like great amount of money without like being involved in like constant like fucking.
Do you notice that when you do a studio scene is released, do you notice that a bump in your OnlyFans?
Oh yeah, the exposure.
It is. So that's the main reason you would do it. Delmo, you feel the same way?
And sell it again.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you would do a solo. So you say a studio scene would be published, and then a bunch more people would jump on your OF.
Totally.
Okay. Same. Do you see the same thing, Milana?
Yeah, same.
Yeah. The same thing happened. This is lesbian.
So my next.
You like to eat at the Y?
Jesus Christ.
Nobody. Nobody. Yeah.
Let's strap one.
Oh, guys. Okay, no more dad jokes. Okay. No, I was going to say is that so most of you have been in the business for at least 10 years. Okay, in that decade, in that 10-year time, when you started to where you're at right now, assuming you're not even still in, did you have to become someone else as a result of like the way things were when you started versus the way things are right now? And the reason I'm saying this is because it's the difference between like, because remember 10 years ago OnlyFans wasn't a thing, and so you had to So would you say you're a different person as a result? And also, would you say now that 10 years later you would call yourself a content creator rather as 10 years before you would call yourself a porn star?
I am a porn star. I am still a porn star. I'll forever be a porn star. I do make content, so I am a content creator. But, I mean, if you're already out there, you're on the hub, you're on all these different platforms or tube sites, I'm a porn star. You know, you could find my free shit. But if you want exclusive stuff, if you want more relevant stuff, then yes, you could go to my OnlyFans or any of my platforms.
So, but do you think you're a different person now? And I don't mean just like maturity was. I mean like as far as like a business, like doing this as a business.
I feel that when I first started, I got a lot of pushback for being dom. Porn is very misogynistic, so they don't really enjoy dominant women. So I was always typecast teen or submissive type roles. That now that it's my brand, it's my niche, it's who I am. I'm a lot more acceptable. It's a lot more acceptable for me to be who I am, and I embrace it, and I'm all about it, and I inspire other women to be a fucking findom.
Findom. Explain findom.
Like financial domination.
There you go. So. I asked you this. You were actually one of the first girls we ever had on the very first show that we did here, by the way. So you are a veteran of this show, by the way. I asked you this question, and maybe you have a different answer now, maybe you don't. But so I asked you, are you ever going to give it up? Are you ever going to sort of age out of pornography? And you told me then, oh dear, I will never age out of porn because I can change with the time. So like now, like we were just saying, what's the most relevant or what's the most searched for porn right now, which is MILF porn, right? So it doesn't matter what age, and GILF, for fuck's sake, you'd be 70, right? Yeah. So, but do you still think that you can age out, or do you think you're going to get out at some point?
I will get out at the. I will transition out at the point that yes, I'm a mother. And I do want to be a great role model for my daughter.
Of the cutest daughter in the world.
Yes. And also, I have a lot of pushback going on with, custody and lawyers and learning about, the court system does not approve of sex workers, which I think is total, fuckery. So I will still use my brand, but I will transition into something else. But I'll always be a dom. Always be a dom.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think any of you? Do you think you'll ever transition out? Do you think you'll? Well, I should say this: will you ever age out of? We see. You know what? I'm done with this. I'm too old for this.
What I was bringing up was she's technically married to a GILF. Like, but not like a GILF, but like she's like a grandmother, but she's like super hot.
Yeah, my wife is grandma.
Is grandma?
Yeah, but she's like super hot. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys knew each other before this?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
We know each other very deep.
What do you mean? I don't understand what that means.
We know each other very deep.
And I worked with her now wife before I met her.
Okay.
Yes. And
very nice.
Yeah, and she was from like an era before mine, but she came back. And then
my wife finished quit the job exactly in the time when I started that.
Okay.
Yes, and we both started around the same time. And then, but when I worked with her wife, I thought she was gonna kill me. She was so wild. I'm like, wow, this is not like working with a girl.
Well, is your
right
wife
now.
famous? Who's your wife?
My wife is Priya Rai. She was the first.
Priya Rai,
Priya Rai.
and she's an Indian.
Wow. She's the first ever Indian porn star.
The only reason why I know that is because I went to AVN 10 years ago and I saw there's one Indian porn star.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
that's good.
Holy shit!
Yes.
So you guys live with her now? That's crazy.
Yes.
Yes.
That's crazy. Okay.
I love that.
Okay.
Yes.
I had Kezia Noble on my show, and one of the things she said at the end of the show, she says she believes, and I don't agree personally, but she believes that women secretly all fancy bisexual men who will just fuck anything. And I'm just curious.
No.
Okay, go ahead, Tiff. Go ahead.
No.
Hell no.
I'm going to tell that story that I told you outside. So I was about 10, 11 years ago, and I didn't know my ex was bisexual. We actually went to a club in downtown LA called Exchange LA. He bought a bottle. Nice guy. I walked in on him making out with his ex-girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. And you felt fine about that?
No. I wasn't okay. I took the Grey Goose. I drank it down, ended up in the drunk tank. I walked home.
Oh, no.
So as I walk in the front door,
oh, shit.
My door lady was like, oh, hell no, girl. You do not want to go up there. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, what do you mean I don't want to go up there? Oh, he went up there with another woman and another dude. And I'm like, what? Another dude? Okay. I went upstairs. Said, no, don't do it. And I'm like, no, it's my fucking house. I'm going upstairs. I go upstairs. All of a sudden I hear moaning. I'm like, don't be in my apartment. I get in front of the door. It's coming from my door. I walk in. My ex-boyfriend's the catcher while he's eating his ex-girlfriend out.
That's incredible. So you were like, hallelujah. You jumped in?
I didn't jump in.
Did he know you got arrested? Is that why he thought he could get away with this?
Yeah, and you're.
I didn't get arrested. I went to the drunk tank at the club. But we used to order groceries on Amazon, and we had dry ice. So I took the dry ice, I threw it out the window, and I took all of his Armani suits and threw it out the window. Homeless people gotta find jobs, dude. I help the homeless.
Oh my God.
They got Armani suits. I hope they got the job.
Yes.
You did a great thing.
But then I went to Miami for 2 weeks and got drunk.
There you go. Just got drunk that one time. Have you ended up dating a guy? Do any of you agree with that? You like men who are bisexual?
No.
No?
No, not
No.
it.
No.
Because
No.
I would just be really cautious because my best friend is gay, and gay men they're really frisky and they're wild, and I'm like and if I threw a guy that I was dating into that, I would just be a little hesitant because you know you know what I mean, just recklessness is something I would be a little bit concerned about, especially because I do adult work.
So, I agree. I don't agree with Kezia. I agree with you guys. Nicolette Shea, she told me one time, she's like, she suspected one guy was like that and just stopped working with him, just because she got that vibe. So that's interesting that you say it's like that. Okay, cool, got it.
Yeah, you boys gotta just be careful out there.
I was just with her in LA.
With Nicolette?
Yeah.
Yes, we love Nicolette.
So those of you who are into guys, you would rather a more dominant, more masculine, more take charge guy rather than sort of. I mean, is it because the guy's is into other dudes, or is it because he's just simply a little bit more effeminate?
I'm not into bisexual men.
At all.
When if he wants to get pegged, don't you do that? Do you do pegging or no?
I peg clients.
Oh, okay,
I don't peg my romantic partners.
Because then it's just work, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, now I get it.
I pegged a guy before. It was not what I thought it was.
Okay.
I had to peg a guy too, and I was so sad.
I'm pretty sure you thought it was sticking a dildo in his butt. I'm pretty sure that's what you thought it was.
I got paid to do it, but I would never do it for free.
Yeah, of course.
I have one
Fuck
question.
you, pay me.
I have one question. Did he have a British accent? No, I'm just kidding. You're not that.
That's messed up. That is so messed up. Don't you talk about my friend like that. That is fucking foul as shit. Messing with you.
I hate you guys so much.
There's a sound
I'm about
clip.
to
There's a
peg you
sound
at
drop.
the avian after party,
That's
Michael.
There's a sound.
I don't know about that. There's going to be a bunch of girls trying to beat you to that one. I'll tell you that right now. None of them gonna catch me. I'm gonna be like the road runner in that.
Well,
bitch.
that's where the dungeon room is. That's my office.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think that women are naturally bisexual?
Yeah.
No. Well,
sexually fluid. Like, are there women who go, you know, like, because I mean, we got two lesbians that are like into women, and you're married.
There's some of us on the all-star team that bat for both teams, Rolo.
Right, but do you think that
Mickey
there
Mantle.
are? Do you think that there are like do you think every woman is sexually fluid like that?
I had to learn that I was into women because at first I was kind of doing it with a boyfriend that I was like in love with, and then I learned we don't have the same taste in women, and I was like, oh, I like these girls, and he likes those girls. And then I was like, well, fuck him. I'm about to go with those girls.
You know, it's hard to be naturally like lesbian when you don't know about existence of this like thing. For example, you know, when I was like in Russia, like, you know, until my 14 years old, like, you know, like I was thinking like for 14, 15, I was thinking something wrong with me until I get my fucking DVD with the lesbian scenes. Yeah, so like how you can like know about what you're like lesbian or gay when you don't know like what the fuck is this?
Yeah, you know, they say most when women watch porn, they've done studies and they say women are mostly watching the women in porn.
Yeah.
Even if there's like a man in it. Like.
So do you think that women are naturally bisexual?
Have you heard of Dr. Susan G. Block?
Yeah.
I think so.
She went to Harvard.
Yes.
She wrote a book about
Queen.
I've
been on her show. I love her.
So
I love her.
She's like a sexual hypnotist, and she's written several books.
Bonobos.
Yes, exactly. And in the book, I read that she said the women will fuck around with the other women, but the men won't really fuck around with the other men. And so I'm like, well, I guess I could see that. But then again, I don't know. But
so the book is called Dataclysm, and it's by the CTO of OkCupid or eHarmony. I forget which one it was.
Yeah.
And the thing that they reported, so they were able to look anonymously at like thousands of different profiles, and they looked specifically at bisexual men and bisexual women. First off, when men stated their preference for women, and they said race, they said any race. Do you want to know what they actually did? They actually went out with any race. Like when men said they liked any race, they actually meant it. When women said they liked any race, they usually only talk to black guys or only talk to white guys or only talk to Asian guys. They tended to just like kind of stick to like one or two races. When women said they're bisexual, they messaged accounts that were male and accounts that were female. When bisexual men said that they were bisexual on the account, they almost exclusively messaged men.
Gay.
Almost exclusively messaged men. So like truly bisexual men are actually pretty rare.
I don't think bisexual men are like women. I think they're just gay.
Yeah.
I think they're just gay.
Yeah. Well, I did talk to a friend of my best friend who's gay, and he did say, because he has a really big dick, and he's like, well, I was at a sex club, and he did fuck a couple, but it was the girl's idea, and he's like, yeah, I did it, and I was like, oh, cool, it was good. He's like, yeah, it was
Did he
good.
feel any revulsion? Like from doing that?
No,
from being with a woman?
He said that her blowjob was better than his. He's
like, I can't even imagine going outside the bounds of like what's going on.
Domo, thank you.
Domo's got to leave.
She's got to leave. She's exiting.
Love you, Domo.
We'll catch up with you.
We should all collab.
Okay, for sure. We should all collab. That usually means something different. We should all collab means come on my podcast. This means something totally different. This means a different thing.
Can we get your information from them later?
Yeah, for sure. I'll give you Domo's info.
And then it'll come up.
Yeah, she left. Oh yeah, that's also Bella had to leave.
I love your earrings.
I definitely will.
Yeah, your ear jewelry.
So just so you guys understand, this is AVN weekend. So like the idea, like we try to get these girls to come out here. Every one of them has to. You guys have to go to parties. There's all kinds of stuff that happened this weekend. So Bella already had an engagement, and so did Domo.
This is the most difficult week to get girls on the show,
for sure.
As we discovered last year.
Definitely.
They still think I'm at the restroom right now. That they don't know where I am.
Oh, the guys you left?
Yeah. They think I'm going back.
They're like, hey, these guys, they're like watching the show. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've had a girl before was like, hey, you going to come on the show? And she was like, oh, no, I have another engagement. I'm like, what, are you going to do some signing? She's like, no, I got to fuck a dude for $3,000. Like, it was like, she was just honest. She was super honest about it. I was like, well, okay, I appreciate that.
Get that money,
honey.
long.
Huh?
If that were me, I'd be like, yeah, I won't take that long. I'll come right
I'll
over.
come right over. You just be counting the fucking money right in front of us on the show.
Yes.
That'd be hilarious.
And then go blow it on
Hilarious.
Go blow it on a table.
So crazy.
Oh, I blew it on the table today. Man.
I need to ask the girls now because this is the porn week, and
Corn week,
and I'll also ask Baby Hercules this too. Do you think, because this is a huge hot button topic right now, do you think that porn is a net positive or a net negative on society? Western society. Well, actually, it doesn't have to be Western society, come to think of it.
Just society in general. What do you think?
Do you think it's a
Cindy,
net positive or net negative? Because you will hear so many people say, "Oh, we should." But the reason I'm asking, actually, let me clarify. The reason I'm asking this is because Ben Shapiro and some homeless guy named Destiny were talking about whether the rapid fire questions. One of them was, "Would you ban porn? Should we ban porn?" And of course, Shapiro has this doctoral thesis as to why we should, and then Destiny's like, "No."
No.
But so what I wanted, because it's very popular in the TradCon world right now, do you think that pornography is a net positive or net negative, and why?
I mean, it's been a good thing for my life, but yeah, I mean, it's helped me out. But I mean, in other countries, like where they don't have porn, like in like Asian countries, certain Asian countries, they don't have porn, right? It's not allowed. So I don't know, like, is it more expensive there to get it on the black market, or is it just like, because you know what I mean? Like, is it just?
Are they right to do it? Do you think that's a good idea for those?
Well, I think if they opened that up, it would be more income for us. So I'm gonna say,
but
keep the porn, keep it all around
for you, but like
yes,
for society in general. Do you
have
think
to worry
it's
about them?
Do you think
okay.
it's yes, you do. The greater good of society. Think about them just for 1 second.
Well. Yes, I will say I am contributing to society.
Okay.
Yes. I'm doing a good thing. Well. Yes.
You say a net positive.
I think if you were to weigh the pros and the cons of it based on who it benefits, I think it would benefit more people than it would affect them to where it would ruin their life. To a point where it does keep men complacent. Maybe they're not, finding an amazing wife. They're watching porn instead. But I think it helps more people than it hurts.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think porn is cheaper than divorce.
That is true.
Yeah. So the bottom quartile of men, I definitely think it hurts. I definitely think it hurts them because it gives them as sometimes sedation. But in some instances, you'll have women and they will they'll be on dating apps and they'll like left swipe 600 times and they'll believe that they're actually better than those men and they get those men to commit, and it causes a delusion where they're actually denying men that they couldn't even get to commit. So and then they end up fucking a dude who they think is a superstar, and they're like, well, since I had sex with a 10, I can get commitment from a 9, and it causes delusion. There's a delusion for men, and that comes from pornography. This idea of the non-contextualized. There's studies that show as men continually look at images of other women naked, they find their own partners to be less desirable. So there are other things when you can talk about it saves marriages. It probably does. There's probably some.
Okay.
I just think just for that lowest quartile.
I have to clarify that too. Now, saves marriages, because everyone will throw this one back at me, right? What do you mean saves marriages? It prolongs marriages that would have broken up because they are sexless. If they didn't have porn, they wouldn't be able to satisfy that need, let's just say, because they're in a sexless marriage. So
porn is cheaper than divorce.
Exactly. And it keeps more families together than it has destroyed, because, and again, I'm not saying this is a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying I'm connecting dots here. People want to argue this with me. They're free to do so. But if you have a guy who's staying in a marriage for his kids, and he's in a sexless marriage, and he's just grinding desperation all the time. Remember what was it? James Sexton was talking about that one guy that he was doing the divorce thing for, and he was in a sexless marriage for something like 4 years or 5 years, and the guy was just basically going to massage parlors and getting handies, right? And they made him out to be this sexual deviant and took his kids away because because he thought that was the most responsible way to go take care of his sexual needs, because his wife wasn't. So of course in the divorce they she took him for like $2 million or something like that. I forget how much money. I
don't remember how much that was, but I know he's done one for $200 million. Where a girl got $200 million. James Sexton was the divorce attorney for that. For some I don't know, it was a pit trader. It was like some guy who created an algorithm in New York.
Right. Yeah. So again, my point is that I think statistically, the statistics will bear this out, is that I think pornography has kept more marriages together than it has torn apart, simply because guys have to find some sort of outlet, and that's what they've done. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. It would be better if he was having sex with his wife, right?
Marriage were an endurance.
Yes, exactly.
Even in my own life, like just growing up as a kid, my aunt and uncle got divorced because my aunt found my uncle watching porn. And my mom was like, well, he's not going out there doing it. And to be fair, like my aunt wasn't fucking him. And I think that it was her fault that they got a divorce. Yeah.
Here's a good question. Do you think that's cheating? If he jerks off to porn and he's not, do you think that's
not
cheating?
At all.
That should be grounds for divorce.
And I don't think that she deserved my uncle. Like I don't think I was like, you know what, you don't deserve him. He's like a really good father. He provides for you and your whole family. He's super hot, even though he's my uncle. But
another 7,000 subscribers on OnlyFans.
Don't take care of yourself.
She's received more subscribers.
Like, and you don't take care of yourself at all, and like you can't even like fuck him or blow him or do anything. Like you don't deserve him. I hope he finds somebody better, and he did.
Damn, I'd smash your uncle.
Yes, you should. Let me know how it goes.
It's like I completely believe you for some reason. I don't think you're bullshitting at all.
That's a new Pornhub search right there, uncle.
Awesome. Do you think it's a net positive or a net negative?
I think porn itself is not a problem. The problem is it's abnormal consumption of everything. Like, porn is the same addiction like, drug or alcohol abuse or stuff. And like, and how to say, an unlimited dosage, like it can be alright. It can save marriage or like can take your desire like to come right away and stuff without like, going out and doing something you're going to regret for. But like we are not taught like how to limit ourselves. Like it's just again, like, like you want more because it's cheap source of dopamine. It's like, it's the same, like, scrolling is the same, like, porn, I mean, all this stuff, like, it's cheap source of dopamine, and so, like, and when,
we need her on the show more.
And so, and, like, and when you can use it, like, for example, from time to time, like, to kill your insomnia, or, like, like, to just, like, like, release your stress, like, yes, it's cool, but when it's become, like, your, like, daily, like, norm, yes, like, this is a trouble. So like, that's why it's always like moderation, like about like what you do and how much you do, like quality over quantity, like always going to save like everything for everything, but we don't know how to go to quality. We like quantity.
That's why everybody's fat.
That's why we like call about like talk about body counts and like just why we like all fat. Yes.
I think it'd be really negative if it's a couple that neither of them are in the industry, and they are exploring their sexual fantasies through watching things like a gangbang, and they're getting their dopamine hits from pixels on a screen, and they're never going to be able to live that fantasy, and they're not fucking their girl because of that.
In that case, like I just like not a few days ago, I made a post. I call it "Know Your Place." And this is like exactly about this, because you cannot just like be in a virgin and start your sexual life like with 3 dicks in your ass. Like come on, like it's little bit yes, ouch, exactly. And like so like it's little bit too harsh. And when you like like just like new couple, like you just like love each other, like you still cannot like like get enough from each other, and you're already like, okay, let's see like some orgy with like bunch of people. Like come on, slow down. Yeah, and that's why like like it again, like you have to know your place, like from where you have to start. If you like jump like right away, like of course you're going to break your dick. Like come on.
I heard that guys get their dicks broken on Christmas, and there was a study in Germany because the sex gets really crazy. And
Christmas morning.
Yep.
What is this? I don't understand what we're talking about. I am so confused.
Wait, so they fuck on Christmas and they're
so I guess more people were having sex on Christmas, and technically, the more sex, the more guys are going to get
the
their
higher
dicks
instance
broken.
of injury.
Santa slay his slay. No.
That's why we have so many Virgos in this life. Actually, like it's a statistic. We have a lot of Virgos in this life because like people fuck during the Christmas time.
Samantha, do you think pornography is a net positive or net negative?
I think overall it's a positive.
Okay, why do you think that?
Yeah, because I think it's really actually it's not really the porn, it's the people that are watching the porn. It's the problem. So I don't really think it's
Do you think it's because do you think it's because of excess, like too much accessibility, and like you were saying, like it's like heading to the open bar and just drinking whatever you want to, like all you can eat buffet?
Yeah, it just tends to create addiction, I think,
I think too much of it's free on the internet. Like we should make porn expensive again.
Yeah, because now it's like offer is much more than like some needs. Like like for example, now like I see so many like naked butts. What like now I want to see like some like butt like which is covered.
Yeah. Yes. I got one more question, but I want to hear from William too. What do you think? Do you think it's a net positive or a net negative for society, like in a larger sense?
I think it's a positive, and I have actually lots of couples from my fans. So who just texted me like together and just like, hey, we love you porn and stuff. So it helps us to make our sexual life, like brighter. So I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah. I also want to say that it's a net positive for this show because you're from the Ukraine and you're from Russia, and we brought you both together at the same table.
And now we're going to fuck till the pick up.
She's not kidding. That's what's really messed up. Yeah. All right, awesome, man. Is there anything you want to go over?
I had one question here. I got a question from what the chat here says. Asked the girl in the blue and the white the type of environment you grew up in. What kind of are your parents still together? Are your parents still together?
Unfortunately, my father passed away when I was 8 years old, and like it's probably like one of the things which is like we all have kind of have in
Daddy
common.
issues?
And a lot of like porn girls, only fan girls, and like like all the sex workers. Most of us like we have like some story behind which is about like split or like someone passed away or like something. So lack of parenting, lack of like discipline, lack of guidance. Lack
Do you have
of
brothers? Do you have brothers?
No, I'm all by myself.
Oh, you're only child.
Same.
Really, only child.
Yeah, but I have mommy issues, not really daddy issues.
I see. Sam, are you only child? Are your parents still together?
Only child.
Really?
My parents are
only
not
child.
together.
3 only child,
Yeah.
and your parents are together. Or
They're
split?
not together
split.
now.
Sam, what did you do before you were a DJ?
You're only child.
I'm the youngest
No,
sister.
you have a sister. Yeah, you have a sister.
I have an older sister. I'm the baby. Long story with the father. But my parents aren't together.
So daddy issues, go ahead.
I got major daddy issues.
Are your parents still together?
No, my dad also passed away, and they got divorced when I wasn't even 1 year old. But I have a great stepdad, and he was taking care of my family. And
Sisters,
me.
brothers?
I have brother.
Your brother?
Yes.
Do any of you have now, or well, I know you. Do you have any kind of drug addictions or alcoholism?
Wait, let's be clear when you say you know me. I smoke weed for the record. Okay?
Yeah, got it.
Weed.
Oh my God!
But as far as because the reason I'm asking is because there's a stigma where people will just presume that to get into porn, women have to be drug addicted, they have to be coerced into it, they have to be forced to get into the industry. Did you get into it because you volunteered? You liked it so much, you're like, hey, I think I'm going to try this, and you got into it? Or did a boyfriend force you into it? Or did drug addiction like drag you into the seedy world of porn, and we really need to save all these women? Are you in here? Are you here by your own choice?
Did you join of your own volition?
Yes.
I wish I had an interesting story like that. That would probably make it better. But, I mean, I was severely addicted to Adderall when I was in it, like when I first got in it, but it wasn't to feed that addiction. I was like prescribed it, but I stopped taking it like midway through actually because I didn't like how neurotic it made me. So I haven't taken Adderall for like 5 years. So I kind of wish I still did though, because I think it would make my scenes probably better.
Oh my God, hilarious.
Well, at least,
I'm going to be more meticulous with my scene, my porn scene, because I took a Adderall. Hilarious. Hilarious.
So on your wish list, more Adderall.
I mean, it would just help a lot with like the anal scenes because you could just do more.
Oh my God. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Did you join of your own volition?
Oh.
And that's the clip. Thank you guys. See you later.
No, actually, I came to porn, it was chain of wrong decision which just lead me to. But in the same time, porn, it's actually kind of helped me to, it saves me through the addiction, because actually when I joined it, I saw so many young ladies who was addicted and was bleeding of their trauma all the time, how it's bad and horrible, and they just was using drugs and stuff, and it's actually helped me to go through that. I had some party and I realized that bullshit is not for me, and by looking at this very bottom, it's kind of pull me out of all that bullshit.
Tiffany, did you join of your own volition?
Well, I was about to be homeless because I couldn't find a job. So I got into
and the
porn.
chat goes wild.
I was about to be homeless. I dropped out of college because I couldn't afford to stay in the student housing. I was about to get kicked out, and I got into the porn industry. And it actually really changed my life around. I'm forever grateful for it.
Interesting. Did you get up in your own volition?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? You just went, decided one day I'm going to do this?
Well, I
Line
have
up
a
the
long
women.
story about that, but the main thing is one day I realized that I always liked girls, and I was really into girls, and I didn't really know how to pick up them, and I really want to try to have sex with girls. So this is how I started.
So it was the easiest way to from point A to point B.
One of my girlfriends was like came over to visit me, and she started talking about she started doing girl porn, and I was like, oh, that sounds good. How is it? And she's just like, oh, I have sex with all these hot girls, like, and like even get paid for it. And then just like, fuck, this is job of my dream, you know? Can I join?
10,000 new subscribers on OnlyFans. What happened?
Do you so that was then, but now have you hooked up with women who aren't in the industry that you like? Are you good? Can you pick up girls, like non-porn girls now?
It happens a couple of times, but like mostly I'm into the girls who is in the industry, because this is when I'm sure that they really into girls, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever
like sometimes I'm just shy, you know. I'm such a shy girl.
Do you guys ever burn out on sex? Do you ever just like, you know what? I just do this for a living. I just don't want. Like, if you're with a guy or your wife for that.
I'm taking a break sometimes, like, you know, for a few months, like, you know, like just like no fucking or nothing, like just.
Even with your wife.
Oh no, my wife is like, you know, like she always like gonna get satisfied.
Okay. No, but the reason I'm saying that is like if you're let's just say you did, I don't know how many scenes you shoot in a month.
It's the same type of diet, like, you know, you cannot eat the cake every day. You're going to like start to like, you know, be tired of that.
Are you still into it with her even after like, I don't know, shooting like 4 or 5 scenes in a month or something?
You know, I'm very emotional person, and like, you know, like for me, like, you know, like so to like, you know, like physical, it's like, you know, it's like a dessert, or like it's like a side effect, like, you know, like so like when like, you know, like it's all about like emotion and like, you know, like baby, you drive me crazy, and so it's not about like, you know, the friction, it's about like mind friction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's more of an emotional thing as opposed to a physical.
Sure.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you. But do you burn out? Do you ever burn out on sex? Anybody?
I burn out on sex.
You burn on sex? Do you burn out on sex? You're done. Like you're like, oh, I'm done. I think I'm going to take a break for a month. No.
Take a break for a month?
It's like people who retire
I mean,
from
if they're
hockey
in
games.
business, I mean, because you still got to work, right? But I mean, like with your partner.
Well, I take a break like when I get my asshole bleached, because you can't do it for like at least 3
You've
3
been
days.
waiting to say that this whole freaking show.
Let's clip that, please. TikTok.
And cancel. Oh,
beautiful.
My gosh.
Beautiful.
Wait, but how does that feel? Does it burn?
Yes, it does. Yes. Well, it tingles like, but and then you just have to just
My
deal
wife
with
is
it.
rolling her eyes right now.
And and then after a couple days, then you're able to do it again, but you can't do anything down there.
Why would you do it like a couple days after you just bleach it?
Wait, what do you mean?
You said you bleach it twice?
No. Like,
oh,
double bleaching.
I mean, you could, but I haven't tried it. But you have to do it like every couple months, though.
Oh.
Okay, it's not as bad as getting in like your like bikini or your wax. It's not that bad.
Okay, before we get
It's
into
that bad like hair removal.
before we get into hycolonics here,
I feel like I just had a laser go like that to the bunghole.
I want to clarify a few things because I know people are going to like throw shit at me for this, but I don't care. When I'm talking about like the positives and the negative side, I can see both positives and I can see negatives. Now, the reason why I say positives, one, I already gave you an example of, which is like if you're in a sexless marriage, it's kept more marriages together than it's ever torn apart.
Until something.
Yes, and so a lot of people will take me to task on that and say, well, you know, it's destroying marriages. And I'm sure that it has, but I would say that it in statistically speaking, and do I have stats for this? No, I don't. But I would say just like logically speaking, if there are more sexless marriages, and those sexless marriages are in some way at least suspended or prolonged as a result of pornography. That's number one. Number two is this. I have always said this, and you just made mention of it a minute ago. The 80% of guys who aren't getting laid, the what was it? 33% of guys who are virgins, whatever, you know, the GSS studies are concerned. Is pornography causing that? Or is pornography...
It's helping it.
Is it... Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, is it preventing those guys from going out and spurging out on women on the streets, and
I think it's preventing
have...
guys probably. I mean, I think it kind of has like a balance effect because it does prolong marriages. It does keep people together, but then you have the men that desensitize themselves. And that overdo it, and they don't have feeling in their
chemically and psychologically castrate
because
themselves.
there'll probably be a good woman that comes up to him, but because she's not cosmetically there, he's gonna pass on her. Just like how women live in delusion with like the top % men. Some men, mostly the incels, are the same way, but with women because of porn.
Well, I would say that the virtual experience of porn, their virtual lives, their escape, if pornography is their escape, that escapism becomes a better reality than their shitty real lives.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Yes, that's why we're so brave in the comment section, and when we talk face to face, we cannot say like even 50% of what we can type.
Right.
Yeah, because you kind of you're hidden, you're in safe environment, you already have your lotion and tissues, and you don't need to do all the steps to go somewhere, dress up, try to impress, and to know what to talk, what to ask, and being nice and pretty and stuff. You're just here, and it's done.
Yeah. Hit it and quit it.
And,
ejaculate and evacuate.
And of course, as often you're doing this, as less you want to go out and try to do this, in real field, because as more you're doing this, as less it seems real for you going out.
So let me give you a counterbalance to that, because in fact I had a video here, but I'll just paraphrase Zuby here. He was very bewildered why OnlyFans is such a big deal. Because can't guys just go and stroke off into Pornhub or whatever else that they're doing, right? Why, if it's just getting off, like you said, then why is that why would OnlyFans be so huge if it was just about getting off? And I'll just tell you why I think it is because guys are looking for the girlfriend experience. They want they're not paying for sex, they're paying for the fantasy that somebody on the other side of the screen actually gives a shit about them living or dying.
Yeah. Now the girl that you're watching on the screen is talking to you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And interacting with
she actually isn't. A small man in the Philippines is actually talking to you. But
yes.
But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how you feel whenever that happens is you get the message. By the way, I actually think some of these ladies need to be careful because there's going to be an FTC class action lawsuit from all these women who have millions of followers on OnlyFans. And they're supposedly messaging thousands of men back, and they can prove that wasn't happening.
That's why I want Sex Panther, because I can't fake that shit.
Yeah. You can't. You can't do that. Not that I would know. I have no idea about what Sex Panther is. Except that half my friends are on it. I don't have any idea what the fuck it is.
What is it?
Tell me, my friends.
Wait. Well, I mean, it's there's Sex Panther and Minx, and it's basically you can't fake it because they could call you and talk to you or FaceTime you, and they pay you per minute to do that, and you can charge up to $30 a minute.
I had a guy FaceTime me when I was on Sex Panther, and he video called me for 20 minutes. He was drunk. I had it at $30 a minute.
That's amazing.
That son of a bitch paid me $400 for 5 minutes.
Confused by why women.
That's amazing.
I got it. Let me do this clip real quick because I kind of wanted to show this. It's
I love it.
Awesome.
I love it.
So,
can I pull that clip up real quick
so you can watch this? It's also there's subtitles too. So.
I'm not confused by why women would be tempted to go and do OnlyFans. That's not confusing to me. I'm who are all these guys who are spending millions of dollars on this stuff? Who are you?
I'm actually thankful that there are sex workers out there to alleviate men from their situation if they can't get women in real life.
I would push back on the idea that this is the best outlet for these type of men. I think actually that's a massive cope, and you're taking an easy route out of, I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to fap on Pornhub or OnlyFans instead of building myself up into the man who can actually get a woman who looks like this in the real world. And if all your energy is going out on that, right, into the tissue as you look at your screen, then sorry to be crude, but you're not then putting that energy where it actually needs to be going.
What do you guys think of that?
I disagree.
Why do you disagree?
Because that's judgmental. What they're saying.
But is it true?
Well, I don't think there's a problem with men improving themselves. They should be improving themselves, don't you think?
Yeah.
Or should they just sit around and watch porn?
I mean,
Cindy?
as long as it's your porn, right?
You don't know if the guy has a high pressure job and he needs to just take the edge off and relax. Otherwise, he's gonna go off and fire somebody for no reason. I don't know. You don't know that guy's life. I don't know. I think that's too much in their business. That's just me though.
It's everything in moderation.
Yeah.
He says this guy is doing the only thing they do is just sitting on a Pornhub or OnlyFans, but like they also are working and putting their energy to
I guess maybe you guys aren't.
It is,
I guess
but
maybe
like there is a part-time.
Yeah. Female addiction to porn is not super common. I just don't think you guys have seen porn just completely debilitate a man unless you've had a brother or cousin where it happens and there's just like nothing else going on. Like they literally go at night, they go to strip clubs and tip women, and during the daytime they're fucking watching porn. Like if you've ever seen a dude where it's totally debilitating, it's hard for women to understand. Now, I was in the military and there was a point in my life where I watched way too much of it because I was living in like Warner Robins, Georgia, and Altus, Oklahoma, and there wasn't even anything resembling. Like
you're forgiven.
Yeah, I wasn't even anything resembling a woman that I could even go talk to in those cases. But other than that, like I mean, I can
Thank
see.
you for your service.
No, I appreciate that. But one of these things that happened is you know. It doesn't help you. It really doesn't. So I just don't think women can understand the level to which men can be
guilty.
I mean, I kind of agree with him with what he was saying with Sosnick and stuff. Like, he is kind of right with it. I mean, I being out of the industry from being in it, I love taking people's money. Like, I love capitalism. Like, you know, you get off on me, you want to put your money towards me, your devotion. Fuck it, I'll take it. But getting out of it, though, I feel really bad that I'm keeping someone from, like, going out to meet a woman in real life or go out to that bar and have that interaction and have that money to take that woman out on that date. So he can feel a woman's, you know, kukla or whatever, you know, or what's YouTube appropriate on him. Like, he can feel that in real life. So I actually think that kind of stunts someone's happiness, like, if they actually fall into it.
Garrett, do you, like, because you do on the street kind of interviews constantly. Now, do you run into guys who you would say, like, well, are incels, right? Or guys who have a real problem, like, even approaching and talking to women as a result of sort of living in their escapism?
So I'll just preface this by saying there's a quote from Bronze Age Pervert, and he says, "Only ape in captivity jerks off." What does this mean? And I think we're all kind of in captivity in a way. So kind of, you know, if all men were in the wild, you know, tribalism days, no one would be jerking off because everyone would be using they would have their role.
Too busy surviving or too busy fucking.
So, and they just don't have, men nowadays just don't have the desire to possibly get rejected by a woman, and they would much rather just take the easy route and just sit at home, and they don't want that burden of performance.
So it's easier. You don't have to go out and kill your food, and you don't have to go out and, like, find a woman to fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're about to be obsolete. We're fucked, ladies. AI birthing pods, it's coming.
Gen Z, watch out.
Yeah, and robot dogs got it. Okay.
Gen Z, one man at a time.
No, I was the last thing, because we're running out of time here, but the last thing I wanted to say is that I think that if you look at things like the Arab Spring or something like that, for example, where you've got a demographic of young men between like ages of 18 and 24, and this is what tradcons are like scared shitless of course, is that if we didn't have pornography, we would have like another uprising of, so like a beta male uprising of some sorts. Because if you took away the porn, if you took away that as a sedation, as sort of like a buffer or a failsafe against guys like sort of going out and like actually picking up and doing something similar to what Zuby was saying, right? If porn is your sedation and it keeps you from becoming a better man, it's also keeping you from becoming a guy who's going to go out there and be, go out there and rage in the streets. Because especially if you live in a country where it's like, polygamy is legal and your buddy's got 4 wives and you got no pussy, you're going to go and kill that guy. And then people got 3 more wives as a result of that,
yeah,
right? See what I'm saying? It's just a mathematics equation at that point. But as you were saying, some countries, Christiana, you were saying that some countries will outlaw porn.
Yes.
Are those better societies because they don't have pornography?
They have other
I don't even. Yeah, I'm sure they do.
No.
I just don't know though because I haven't experienced.
No, the reason why I'm saying
those
that is
are the
because
countries where they stone you, though, right?
Well, they can, but is it a buffer against? Is pornography a buffer against those guys wilding in the street?
In that case, you can see. Yeah. You can take a look at these Arabian countries, let's say Saudi Arabia, or Arab Emirates and stuff, where it's they pretty harsh, they're very harsh, cut all this too pervert things. And from one hand we can say oh my god, it's so too much, but from another one look they focus on absolutely different things and they're succeeding in this. So but I don't know, like, at the same time, like, like, we can look at this, like, private schools for girls and boys, where it's, like, you cannot do these, like, you can go, like, how to say, like, to the churches when it's, again, like, only females or males, like, and you want to tell me what they're not doing anything, like, like, and anyhow, like, and we know, like, how much, like, like, pervert shit come, like, out of these, like, schools and, like, private
But see, here's the thing is that if in those situations, that you say, oh, they're still going to fight, they're still going to find a way to get together, right? But they are motivated to try to find ways to actually do those things.
And
whereas if they had pornography, they wouldn't bother doing
and
it.
This is actually how kings created. Like, for example, like, if we go, like, in some deep village in the middle of, like, some, I don't know, nowhere, and there's, like, no internet nor nothing, and there's just a bunch of guys and a god. And now I'm telling you, like, not like my imagination, like, I'm telling you real shit what's, like, happened, like, and it's happening still. They don't have a porn, but they have an imagination, and, like, that's from King Kong.
So I think I'm of the opinion that the only reason I would push back against what Zuby's saying is that I think that pornography is not as big a deal as, say, like, OnlyFans is. I think OnlyFans is a much bigger, like, problem as far as sedation is concerned, because the guys can stroke off and get off the porn whenever they want for free. It's ubiquitous. It's 4K. It's streaming. Every art form, every form of media human beings have created since, like, they were sculpting, chiseling, baby Hercules on, in ancient Greece or whatever. Like, that was, they would look at the human body and they would say, okay, this is what gets me. This is an attractive human body, right? Every form of media, from photography all the way up to where we're at right now, has found its main purpose in pornography or some variation of it.
But OnlyFans is a different problem than the porn or, like, pornography.
It is itself. Because it's selling guys the idea that somebody actually cares
and, like,
about them.
Its roots, like, goes, like, it's, like, different way. Like, for example, like, like, guys, like, come for this, like, virtual girlfriend because they, like, when they go out, all these virtual girlfriends, like, go out as well.
Right.
And, like, so, like, where are you gonna find, like, somebody who going to, like, commit to you, or, like, even, like, like, get laid with you, like, you, like, you're, like, not complete, like, for, like, all this, like, woman who is, like, having OnlyFans right now. And, like, so, like, and of course, like, you're gonna get back home and, like, text that bitch and say, like, all right, like, show me your fucking titties.
Yeah. Well, there always has to see the most as far as I am able to, like, discern. The most successful OnlyFans girls are not girls who are, like, blonde. No offense, not big blonde, big titties. They're normal, almost amateur girls who look like the girl next door. They look attainable. They look like I could maybe meet this girl in the street or in a coffee shop, and I might be able to fuck her, and I might be able to make her my wife. Right? That meant she's not a 10, she's a 7.5, right? Or she's maybe an 8. Still has to be sexual, but not so over the top that, like, oh man, that girl's way out of my league. Why would I follow her and spend a small fortune on her?
But it's still, when this guy will see this, like, like 7, like, or, like, wherever, like, go, like, in the real life, it's still the difference. As I say, like, when we type, we are heroes. Like, when we talk, like, we are, like, losers.
Yeah, everybody's a winner online. Yeah. I'm famous. Yes. I'm only famous. I'm only important on the internet. Yes. All right, we're good.
Anything else?
That's it, man.
Hey, man, really glad to have you guys come here. Melania, what did you think of the show so far?
Final thoughts.
You have any final thoughts? Any questions you want to ask us?
No, it was great. It was my first podcast, actually.
Yeah?
So, yeah, it was really
We always have a time
fun.
for a first time. Yeah.
We have a lot in common. I'm into women. You're into women. It's great.
Yes.
Incredible. What do you think?
I'll say that I am a lesbian, too.
Masculine presenting lesbian.
And, yeah, this was my first big podcast like this. And it wasn't what I expected. It was Avian Week, so it's a little bit different than usual. But, man, couldn't be happier.
Yes. Tiffany.
It's always a pleasure. Excuse me, my voice is gone. I did not feel like I took a bath in battery acid this time. I'm always going to read my Bible, but yeah, it was great. I loved being a trad thought. I feel like girls from the corn industry can be traditional, but we can never be a trad con. We are trad thought.
I have never met.
I don't get it. What is that? Yeah, what is that?
So tradition. So think of a traditional conservative. So that's conservatism, but you're including, like, the family values and Christianity and stuff like that.
What was it called?
Trad thought. So that girl over there.
Traditional conservative.
Yeah, traditional. So,
but then you're saying a traditional thirsty hoe.
Basically, a traditional conservative.
I love how we have to explain it to you.
Yeah,
one of the things I have yet to meet a woman. I have yet to meet a woman in my entire life that does not own a gun and has a boob job who is blonde who did not support Trump. Like every single one of them. So it doesn't make any difference what you did for a living.
Wait on.
Okay, what are we doing here? We're writing the word
modesty.
Modesty.
This is modesty.
This is modesty.
Next in 2024, the top category on Pornhub will be.
Wait, hold on, guys. I gotta do the real thing. Hold on.
Oh, what are we doing? Oh, hold on, wait. We're on.
Sports process.
Oh, boy, I'm about to say, man, I'm not trying to lose my fucking YouTube.
And canceled.
I
had to be modest, guys.
All right, now get out of here. Go to the kitchen, and I want you to start mixing cake batter.
Oh yeah, you guys want another cake?
Yeah, there we go.
I got cake on everybody. Let's go.
Beautiful. Samantha, what do you think about the show?
It was also my first podcast, and I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
For sure. Samantha, what did you do before you were a DJ? I never got to ask you.
I was a dancer.
You were a dancer? In Florida?
Here in Vegas, actually.
In Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay,
Many
crazy.
years ago.
Wow, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Crystal.
Nice to see you again, guys.
You're coming back.
You're coming back. Crystal, I want you need to have your own show, Crystal.
I'm here once in a month.
Once a month?
Yes.
Yeah, very nice.
Ooh.
Christiana?
Oh, yes.
What do you think?
I'm so thankful that you let me bring my friend Milana, and that she trusted me to have her first podcast here. And I told her on the way here, I was like, "You're gonna like it." I'm like, "These guys love women.
So happy
you love
you
women.
brought her.
You're gonna really get along. You have a lot in
forever.
common already." Yes. So yeah, and then I'm just happy to be in the room with new friends and with people I've met before and like new people I've never met before. So yeah, thank you for having me again.
Yes. Well, thank you guys for coming, especially on Expo Week.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, my wife going to kick my ass for like me disappearing for so long.
Oh, your wife is?
Oh, no.
That lesbian.
Just tell her. I'll give you an excuse. I'll write the doctor's note for you.
Yes. You know what she's
feminist.
Wait. Priya Ray is a feminist?
Next time, yes.
Really?
Tell her.
Please tell her to come on the show.
Pillow princess tonight.
When it's about me, yes, she is.
Please tell her to come on the show. I would love to have her come on the show.
Wait, but tell her, be like, hey, you can be the pillow princess tonight. I'll make it up to you.
Thank you for advice. I will use it.
So,
I got you, girl.
So everybody, your Instagram links, if you're looking for any of them on Instagram, all of your links are on the description. Just go and click see more, and then you'll be able to see
sure.
it.
Whatever we do, guys, whatever you do, remember to I'm sorry.
Go subscribe to their OnlyFans.
Remember, guys, continue to respect women. And
yes.
Whatever you don't just subscribe to their OnlyFans. That would be terrible. I'm sure none of you are going to do it.
Yes,
Misogyny.
all of them are. All of them.
Misogyny. All right, guys. That's awesome. Anything else?
No, we got it. What are we doing next week?
Couple things.
We're off next week.
We're off for a while. So I don't think we're going to do one during Babes in Toyland. So what's going to happen is if you guys are interested, any ladies who are watching this are interested, on the 8th of February, we're going to be hosting Babes in Toyland /FHM party that we're going
Super Bowl weekend.
Super Bowl weekend. We're going to be having a party at the Sahara. If you guys are interested in doing that, it's going to be a charity event as well. And then on the 9th, I'm going to be going to Shaq's Fun House at Excess. That's not one of my events, but I'll be there if any of you ladies want to come to that. Yep. And then on the 10th is going to be the Maxim Super Bowl party, which is going to be at Resorts World. If you guys would like to get on the red carpet or go to any of those events,
Super Bowl will be at Allegiant Stadium.
Please hit me up, ladies, if you will hit me up if you're interested.
It's going to be awesome to see my Niners win the Super Bowl in Allegiant Stadium.
You're going to see it in Allegiant Stadium?
It got leaked. They're projected to win, so everybody sports bet on the 49ers.
It got leaked. Yes, the NFL.
Bet on the 49ers.
You want the most controversial thing I'm going to say today? The NFL is not scripted, guys. It's not. It's just fucking random. Anyone who thinks it's scripted, you don't know how to play football. So it's hard as shit.
So here's a bet. If the Niners win and Brock Purdy is there, you're not going to say Brock the bartender anymore. You're going to say Brock the quarterback.
Brock the quarterback?
Okay,
yeah, Brock the quarterback.
Okay.
Awesome. Brock the beautiful. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Like I said, we'll probably be back on the 15th of the 15th.
But we won't be, we're still at Babes in Toyland.
Yeah, the 15th of February, you guys can catch us at Babes in Toyland. Obviously, I'm going to be the host of the Maxim Party, and I'll be the host of Babes in Toyland. And we will see you guys in 3 weeks.
There you go.
All right. Take care, guys. Remember, stay celibate. Whatever you do, don't have sex with anyone.
Stop jerking off.
Stop jerking off.